You can tell already, overcast skies. It is extremely windy and it is chilly, but for now, the rain has held off. That means we're going to have baseball as the Defiance Bulldogs opened up the 2025 season last night. But this afternoon, as they host the Paulding Panthers, it is their home opener. As we welcome you aboard, the Highschool Chevrolet Cadillac Pre-Game Show is underway. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Bulldogs welcome the Panthers. And Scoop, we're going to be taking a look at an interesting, I'd call it a dichotomy. How's that for you? Pull out the thesaurus, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulldogs obviously did not get as far in the postseason as they would have cared to last year after defeating Napoleon in the regular season. They just simply had one of those games, a bad time to have them when it's a one and done season. But they went down to Florida during the off season. They got a lot of off season work in, and of course winners last night of their season opener as they went on the road, a short road trip to Liberty Benton, an 8-4 victory. On the flip side, the Panthers of Paulding, still a future team, a team last year that had more athletes on it, but for some reason, specialty has kicked in even at the high school level. Not only that, hit by 2 ineligible and 2 injured players, and what looked to be a promising roster this year all of a sudden is now extremely young for the Bulldogs. Your take on this one here this afternoon, pardon me, for the Panthers, I should say. Your take on this one this afternoon.
Well, I think for the Panthers, yeah, I love the way they scheduled Defiance. They've had some rainouts the last few seasons. They've only played twice since the 2019 season, but the Panthers 1-1 against Defiance. Not a lot of teams can say that. They will be starting 2 freshmen, a sophomore, 3 juniors, so really a young team, but again, a talented team. So they're going to come in here, expectations to win, which is the key if you're playing Defiance, because not a lot of teams can say that they have that.
Speaking of youth, Sam Gershutz is going to be on the bump here this afternoon for Defiance. Played on the junior varsity roster last season, but they don't reset. They reload in this Bulldog program, and he's got a very promising prep career in front of him.
Well, I tell you what, he really does. And if you know anything about Defiance high school baseball, I mean, they have one of the deepest pitching staffs in all Ohio. I think there's no question about that. Defiance will start a freshman and 9 seniors in the starting lineup today. So this is going to be a battle-tested team. As you mentioned, Brent, the fact that they were, for Defiance, an early exit, getting bounced by Napoleon after beating Napoleon in the regular season last year, that left a sour taste in their mouth. But, most teams, when you get a 20-win season like Defiance had a year ago, they won their 28th WBL League Championship. Most teams would think, man, this is an unbelievable year. And don't get me wrong, that is a great year. But as far as Defiance expectations, they expect more. And I think right now they've set the bar high for this year.
A chance to get after it and get the home opener in the win column to go 2-0 on the season. What we're going to do is take a quick time out on our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. I had a chance to talk with head coach Rick Weaver down the right field line. We're going to be having more than a couple of conversations with the head Bulldog over the course of the season. We don't have a player profile as they were in the middle of batting practice, but Coach Weaver will break it down for us. Don't you go anywhere. We're going to take a quick time out. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. It is gray, it is windy, it is chilly. At least for the time being, the rain is holding off. And what does that mean? It means high school baseball in Northwest Ohio. You don't get a choice. You get to play in this kind of weather. It's an honor to be able to do so. Defiance, after going 1-0 with a big road win last night, opens up their home season as they welcome Paulding. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Big thank you going out to our sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac. Tell you what, if they wanted to give you a ride of your own to be a pitch man, Coach, what would you drive off? I'm guessing you like in a big Escalade or something like that.
Give me one of those Cadillac Escalades. I would be happy.
That holds more than enough gear, the fam, a few players. Absolutely. We'll do a little work on that for you. We can do a little grease
Pull it up your next project.
Absolutely. And with personalized plates, vanity plates.
100%.
Our weave is what it will be. In all seriousness, though, it is time to play ball. I know you've been chomping at the bit. I know the off-season program here is very strong. You've had one game underneath your belt. This is a senior-dominated roster. What did last night tell you?
Yeah. I think hopefully we got our jitters out of the way. And I told the kids after the game, with 8 seniors, most of them starting last year, I thought maybe we wouldn't be as jittery, but the start of every season still brings jitters, and I thought we settled down about the 4th inning and settled in, and I was happy with coming away with the win, obviously.
We talk a little bit about Brez Zippel. I don't want to say the ace because you've got tremendous depth on the bump, but at the same time, how do you balance, especially this early in the season when guys are just now kind of getting their game legs underneath them? Do you have a blueprint as far as X number of innings for each individual guy before you go to the pen, or is it just as is?
It's kind of a feel. Fortunately, we were able to go to Florida, and we were able to extend them down there. And I mean, Sunny in 85 does wonders for every arm.
Everybody's loose.
So we kind of had a pitch count in mind, and then he went over maybe a little last night. We were ready to take him out, and he wanted to finish. And you love a guy that's competitive and wants to finish the ball game, so we let him ride it out.
That guy being Brez Zippel, who will be at shortstop here. Matter of fact, he's headed across town to play his college ball at Defiance College. Let's talk about the man who'll be on the bump here today. We didn't see much of him last year, at least when we broadcast. Tell us a little bit about Sam Gershutz.
Yeah, Sammy Gershutz, he pitched mainly JV last year, had a really good summer for us in Acme, and this will be his first varsity start, so I'm excited to see how he does. He's worked his butt off this winter, and he deserves it.
Break down his repertoire. What's he known for?
Yeah, he's going to be a fastball guy, 78 to 81. He's topped 84. Don't know if he'll get there today with the weather. Has a really good breaker. When he gets ahead of it in the count, his off speed's his strikeout pitch. When he gets that over, he's pretty effective.
Now, again, from what little I was able to see him off the air, but again, you don't need to be overpowering and strike out 10 a game. You can pitch to contact and be very, very effective.
Yeah, you can, and that's with the new bats. Obviously, today the wind's blowing in. Pitch to contact, don't walk the guys, don't make errors, and usually good things happen.
What do you want to see at the plate?
Well, I'd like to see a hit every time, but that doesn't always happen. A couple things we talked about, cutting down strikeouts from last year. I really thought we struck out way too much last year, so we're going to try to limit that. We want to have a better approach with 2 strikes, put the ball in play, and then just start moving with our run game, bunt game, try to get that going. We didn't do that much yesterday, so hopefully we can get that going today.
All right, it all leads into the home opener against Paulding. Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Looking forward to covering Bulldog baseball this season.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Again, the coach brought to you by Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the pregame right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-78. Online at baker-schindler.com. In a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center, Stadium Drive in Defiance. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at
Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as we are inching closer to first pitch. Second game of the season for the host Bulldogs. They won last night. Short road trip at Liberty Benton, 8-4. Coach Rick Weaver, as they were taking batting practice this afternoon, said, "What pleased you?" I said, "I know that obviously you got some rust to break off. At the same time, they take baseball just a little differently here in Defiance than they do in most other schools, and that includes the big inner city or urban schools, Scoop. I mean, they traveled down to Florida this year. They had a chance to, and as you heard Coach Weaver mention, sunny and 85 treats your body and your arms as pitchers a little differently than windy, damp, and 55. But he said, as a senior-dominated team this year, he was hoping that they wouldn't quite have the jitters or the nerves, but he said it's also understandable when you're 17 or 18 years old that that's the case. He thinks that they flushed those or brushed those off last night in an 8-4 win against Liberty Benton. One thing that, again, did impress him, only 2 strikeouts last night. He is really stressed, as has the coaching staff. They need better, more quality bats this season.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's going to be awfully important because I think Defiance has some pretty good team speed, so they can put the ball in play. That puts a little bit more pressure in the defense. It also allows you a lot of opportunities to get that running game going, hit and run and so forth, steal a lot of bases. So I think they got all the pieces. It's really kind of getting that consistent day in, day out. You got to be pleased. They've always had that motto: if we score 4 runs, we can win ball games. And getting 8 on the road at Liberty Benton, that's certainly a good start to get off to.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups here this afternoon. You see them out in the field, taking infield right now, but visiting Paulding at 1-1 right now will be the first up, and here is the starting lineup. And again, this is a little off. I tell you what, take that down, guys. This is not correct. So this is not the starting lineup. Instead, it will be Colton Hunt, the right fielder, who will lead things off. Colton Hunt will be followed by the pitcher, Grayson Harder. Kane Jones in center field will be batting third. Grady Borton. I tell you what, he is a man he's a man-child, let's put it that way, and I say that with all respect. I remember him starting as a freshman last year on the basketball team. He is a big, thick, strong young man. Then Nick Bowman will be your shortstop. He will be batting 5th. Zachary Borton will be manning the hot corner, hitting 6th. Stroker Eder is your catcher. He bats 7th. And the 8-hole Jackson Griffith will be your second baseman. And batting 9th will be your DH, Hayden Elston. He will be hitting in place of the left fielder, Carter Evans. Again, that was your lineup. Defensively, we can tell you how they stack up in the field for Defiance, and this does look correct. Again, we'll break down Sam Gershutz in just a second. Behind the plate, he's got a senior and just an absolute bulldog, both literally and figuratively, in Cody Shaw, who will be going to play, continuing his career at the college level at Findlay University starting next season. From left to right, though, man, how many teams in the WBL, how many teams just across the state period, regardless of division, would be interested in having this behind them on the mound? Logan Hutchinson at third. Hutch, again, extremely nimble. He doesn't stand in tall in stature, but he covers a ton of ground. At shortstop, senior Brez Zippel, senior Noah Gomez at second, and senior Khalil Ligon, the 6'4 picker, over at first. From left to right in the green, also a trio of seniors. Abel Rubio, Brady Borton, who can pick him up and lay him down. He covers a ton of ground. And Cohen Stockman in right. That is a senior at every position, Scoop.
Well, that's an impressive group. I think all 9 of those, in my opinion, can certainly play at the next level. This is a really talented group. And, again, when they get everybody on the same page, get some reps together, boy, this team's going to be a tough out as they search for their 20th WBL title down the road here this season.
As both teams have finished up infield, Coach Barton and Coach Weaver exchanging handshakes and pleasantries at home plate. Our men in blue today, Jay Moran is behind the plate. He is calling balls and strikes. Mark Weidenhammer will be making the calls in the field.
The umpires for today. And on the base is Mark Weidenhammer.
As both teams out trying to stay warm, it is windy. If it wasn't for the wind, I don't think it would be that bad this afternoon, Scoop. But when you're talking temperatures in the mid-50s, hopefully getting ahead of the rain here, as it is called to be a little precipitous here this afternoon, makes a difference.
Well, it does. And I know it's baseball, but you would certainly expect a low-scoring game. Not just because I think both teams have outstanding pitchers on the bump here today and also have outstanding bullpens, but I think with the wind coming in from right field, also the cold weather, ball's certainly not going to travel here today. So I look both teams to really try to be aggressive, find ways to manufacture runs early and often.
Well, and that's one thing with Coach Barton for Paulding. He said the defense is going to have to be on its toes today because Defiance, they'll bunt, they'll hit and run, they'll straight steal, they'll sacrifice, but they're going to put pressure on you defensively.
Well, they will. And remember, we talked about how they have really good team speed, and you combine that with the fact you're playing. That's going to put a little bit more pressure on Paulding if Defiance tries to go small ball and try to.
Well, and again, on a day like today, all of a sudden, you need tempo on the mound. Whether, again, you're fanning guys or at least having them put the ball in play. Nothing wrong with pitching to contact. But as an outfielder, or even an infielder for that matter, if you're standing around and all of a sudden that chill starts to get into your bones, your fingers start to get a little bit numb, it can make things a little bit dicey.
It can. Attack the zone. First pitch strikes go a long way. Try to get guys up there swinging right away. Try to avoid those 20-plus pitch innings that can really put a defense to sleep.
As both teams take the field, we get ready for the national anthem. I believe it's still going to be brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Association. Pleased to inform veterans and their family members of services available to them. www.defiancecounty.com/veterans.com. And now the national anthem. And the national anthem brought to you by our sponsor. Again, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Pleased to connect veterans and their family members with services available to them. If you would like to learn more about what you might be eligible for, log on to Defiance-County/veterans-office. So we get set for first pitch, and let's break down Sam Gershutz. Again, the senior right-hander, as we talked about it. Fastball and curveball, primarily a two-pitch mix. Fastball is going to be in there around 78 to 81 miles an hour, so not going to overpower you. But again, you know he's going to be effective, Scoop, if he gets ground ball outs today. Pound down in the zone. His out pitch is a curve, and Coach Weaver tells me it is a true curve. It's a 12-6, so we'll see how he handles the Panther hitters this afternoon.
Yeah, I think importance for Gershutz is really going to be that command. You know, if he can locate both those pitches, keep it downstairs, he's got a really solid defense. You mentioned the fact they have so many seniors in that starting lineup. Let's don't forget we've got Cody Shaw behind the dish here with a backstop like that, and Cody Shaw, who's got a lot of experience there at that catcher position. He's certainly going to help Sam Gershutz break into the varsity level here tonight.
Gershutz, interesting, again, watching his mechanics here because he's very tight, he's very compact, and then all of a sudden, once he gets into his spring, he unloads. He gets very wide, he gets very long. One of my old coaches used to kind of refer to that type of style as pitching on a mattress. He was a lot more compact and stayed within himself there. So it'll be interesting to watch him. And again, we didn't get to see him last year because he was pitching primarily junior varsity.
Well, you know he's going to have good mechanics. You know, he's so well coached here at Defiance, and I think what you're referring to is that flex to firm, something that's going to be important for him. But again, I think he's and certainly a great infield, as you mentioned there, with Hutchison, Ziffel, Gomez, and Ligon there across the infield. And of course, I think they got some speed to burn in the outfield with Rubio and Borton and Stockman. So solid defense behind Defiance. 1,244 wins, 6th all-time in the state of Ohio.
And we are getting set for first pitch as the left-handed Colton Hunt digs in and takes just a little bit low for ball one as we are underway. Gray skies, very brisk winds blowing straight in from left field. Temperatures in the mid-50s with that wind chill. Going to feel just a little bit cooler on a day like today as we're looking at a 2-ball, no-strike count to Colton Hunt.
Colton Hunt, a really solid athlete for the Panthers. Quarterback last couple of years for that Panther football team. It's made the playoffs in consecutive seasons. And now he's worked himself ahead in the count here against Gershutz.
3-0. We'll see if he's got the green light. As the obligatory fastball coming right down central as home plate umpire Jay Moran calls strike one. See if he serves him up another here. The 3-1 on the way. Fouled up the first base side, and just like that, the count now full.
Great job by Gershutz. Down the count 3-0. He challenged him with consecutive fastballs to get back in the count at 3-2. So now we'll see if the senior has the confidence in that 12-6 curveball to see if he can locate. That's certainly his out pitch. We'll see if he goes to it early here.
We'll see with a full count. Sets, comes home, and misses inside. It's a leadoff walk for Colton Hunt.
Pitcher number 30, Grayson Hardwell.
Well, again, with just a two-pitch mix, and as we talked about the weather, most likely going to make it a little bit more challenging, shall we say, trying to get a feel for the ball. Maybe not breaking quite as much. We'll see if Sam Gershutz comes at him with a fastball here as he goes over to first quickly.
Yeah, and you certainly don't look for Paulding to go small ball here. Grayson Hart last year was their top hitter at .339, led the team with 12 RBIs, scored 20 runs.
Out of the stretch, Gershutz with a quick look, check swing, and a nice stop by Shaw.
Good hold that time by Harder. A good-looking 12-6 curveball, but boy, that had dropped way out of the zone late. Now, once again, Gershutz falls behind.
He'll step off. Again, we heard Coach Weaver talk about it during the pregame, trying to bust off the rust and maybe the early season nerves in the season opener last night. But you've got Sam Gershutz, who's now pitching in his varsity start here. And right now, just gotta find yourself some rhythm.
Settle down, relax. I think he's just trying to maybe overthrow a little bit, trying to do too much, but he's once again falling.
Fastball, strike one.
Well, that's what you need in this situation right here, that heavy fastball that might get you a play. Harder still in a hitter's count here at 2-1.
Middle infield is pinching right now. Ziffel at short, Gomez at second. As a good hold there, it's off the mark, 3-1.
Pitches, but the patience here by Harder gives him an opportunity to get in the hitter's count here at 3-1.
As Gershutz working out of the stretch, deals, and back-to-back walks have put the first two Panthers aboard to open up the first inning.
Well, right now we're seeing a lot of patience by this Panther offense, and Rick Weaver's going to take an early visit out here to the bump.
And again, this his starting pitcher right now.
Well, I think that's more it than anything. Certainly a guy that certainly has the arm strength, has the mechanics, but again, settle here a little bit, and again, trust your defense right now. You've got everything working for you as far as you got solid defense. A ground ball is going to get you two. A
Absolutely.
Pop fly is going to be an infield fly rule. So right now, even though not the situation.
Also, just be competitive. Right now, Paulding hasn't had to take the bat off their shoulder through their first two hitters. So we'll see if the visit to the has helped slow things down for Sam Gershutz as he's walked his first two batters. And digging in, another lefty, Kane Jones.
And Kane Jones, the fastest Panther in the lineup,
yes.
So you have to realize that when you're on defense, respect the speed that he brings.
He's swinging first pitch fastball, pops it into short center. Borton is on his, well, he's going to make this catch on the infield. That was a long way to come, but he makes the catch.
Well, I think that's going to go down as an infield fly rule, but it's going to be F8 there. Brady Borton caught that there on the dirt part of the turf. So, my goodness, a long way to go.
That tells you how strong that wind is blowing in, though, doesn't it? That should tell you all you need to know. So, with one down, here's Grady Barton. Digging in from the right side. Still two runners aboard, but now one down as Gershutz deals. Good sinking fastball, strike one.
A great job by Gershutz. That's what he has to do. He has to control counts. He has to get on top of hitters, get them in negative counts. And now he's got all options open here at 0-1.
Taking his time as he looks in, comes set from the stretch, belt high. Checks the runner at second. This one floats above the visor.
Yeah, nothing wrong with elevating the baseball, but you want to be more competitive than that. You want to try to entice a guy like Barton there to maybe expand the zone, but that one just way upstairs. Gershutz, as the count remains full here at 3-2.
Gershutz laboring primarily with the fastball right now. The full count on the way again. Got him! Strike three, and Borton knew it.
Boy, that's a big-time pitch that time from Gershutz. You talk about locating. He paints that fastball right on the outside edge. A fantastic 3-2 pitch. Gershutz gets his first strikeout of the afternoon, but not out of the woods yet as Nick Ballman, the shortstop, and just a freshman, steps to the plate.
Stands right in the center of the box. First pitch misses in the attic. Paulding put the first two aboard, courtesy of a pair of free passes. Gershutz trying to work his way out of a mild jam here in the top of the first. Out of the stretch. Comes home. Misses around the letters, but off the mark, 2-0.
Yeah, right now he just has not really been comfortable. He's continually falling behind hitters. He's had 3 3-ball counts already. Now he finds himself behind Ballman, 2-0.
Saw him right there take a big, deep breath, trying to slow himself down, but for the third straight pitch, he's out of the strike zone. It's 3-0, and this is where you got to slow yourself down.
Oh, you do. You know, right now you got a freshman at the dish, so you really have to just have confidence yourself here, flush the last few pitches, go out and win the next pitch.
As this one, get me over fastball for a strike.
A nice job by Cody Shaw to frame that pitch. That was right at the top of the strike zone. They get to call. Still trailing in the count here. 3-1 here for Gershutz.
3-1. Boy, that was all arms, and he fouls it straight back.
This is the problem when you fall behind, 3-ball count. Now with the count full, the runners will get a head start here.
Yep.
So the Panthers be in motion. Any type of base hit to the outfield certainly should score a run here.
Force at any base for the Defiance infield, but with 3-2 the count and 2 down, the runners will be moving with the pitch. Neither has a significant lead as Gershutz deals. Got him swinging, strike 3. Well, he got himself into trouble. He got himself out of trouble. No runs on no hits, no errors. A pair left the board, but 2 big strikeouts. And we are through 1/2 inning here at Defiance. No score as the Bulldogs coming to the plate.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Paulding. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Back at Defiance High School as we are heading to the bottom of the first. Paulding put a couple aboard, but unable to score. And we'll see if the Bulldogs can do anything in their first at-bats of the afternoon. As there you take a look at the Paulding starter. Big right-hander Grayson Harder, who is going to be continuing his baseball career at the next level, going to be playing at Mount Vernon after he graduates. But right now he's locking in. Boy, what a notch in your belt. If you could come up with a victory against one of the premier programs in the state of Ohio. It's going to be an interesting mix because what we saw from Sam Gershutz, again, a 79 to maybe 81, 82 mile-an-hour fastball who will work primarily off of his secondary stuff. Grayson Harder's got a little bit more in the tank, 80 to 85 from what we're being told for the fastball. And again, he's a slider and change-up mix guy. Break him down for us, Scoop.
Well, the 6'4" senior right-hander has some impressive numbers. Last year he had a 1.19 ERA. And get this, Brent, 68 strikeouts against 7 walks.
That's
so
impressive.
You talk about 10-1 strikeout walk ratio. That's going to win you some ball games. You mentioned he's going to play for the Cougars or Mount Vernon. He's a guy that really kind of throws downhill. And having that 6'4" frame, that ball gets on you a little bit quicker. He's got a long stride there on his release. So as a hitter, that typically adds 2 or 3 miles an hour to that fastball. So that mid-80s fastball becomes upper 80s. It's going to be tough for Defiance. So look for Defiance to try to mix things up, use their speed a little bit, play a little small ball when the timing's right. Logan Hutchinson will start things off for the Bulldogs.
Go ahead and take a look at the Bulldogs lineup here as Logan Hutchinson, as Scoop mentioned, is going to lead things off as Harder will deal. First pitch is in there for a strike. Hutchinson, the leadoff man. Do we have him? There we go. And again, this is not correct. Go ahead and wipe that, guys. That is incorrect for the lineup. We'll tell you it's Logan Hutchinson, followed by Cohen Stockman, Brady Borton, Noah Gomez, Brez Zipfel, Cody Shaw, Khalil Ligon, Abel Rubio, and Colt Ward, the freshman, will hit in the 9-hole as the 1-1 misses upstairs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Paulding defense. And there you go. You see Harder on the bump. Stroker Etter, the sophomore, behind the plate. So you've got the upperclassman on the bump, the underclassman behind it. As the 2-1, Hutchison thought he was taking too much time. Will step out. From left to right on the infield, it will be freshman, junior. Barton, Bauman, Griffith, and Barton. As this one check swing held up, and it's 3-1. From left to right in the outfield, it goes senior, junior. Evans, Jones, and Hunt.
And Barton about 15 feet up on the grass there from a third base position, respecting the speed of Hutchison.
As, boy, he had his load ready. He was locked, and I'm not sure if that missed the spot where he was zoned up or if it was a different pitch. But Hutchison now takes for strike 2. Oh, and a feeble wave, and that's strike 3. And you don't see Logan Hutchinson carved up like that very often.
That was a filthy pitch. Give Grayson Harder a lot of credit. He fell behind 3-1, but he came back with quality pitches there on the 3-1 and then on the 3-2 to record his first strikeout of the afternoon.
So with one down, that'll bring up Cohen Stockman. Stockman, another lefty, takes inside. The 1-0, working slowly out of the windup. Well, that ball gets on you. It's a blur, and I'd love to see a Jugs gun on Grayson Harder right now because it looks like he's bringing some pretty good steam.
And again, he's certainly proven. There's a reason he's signed with Mount Vernon, a very strong baseball program in the Crossroads League. They've had a lot of success down there. They play some good baseball, just like we see here at Defiance all the time.
2-1 on the way, misses upstairs.
Well, both pitchers having troubles with command here early. This is the second 3-ball count here and just the second batter of the game here for Harder.
This one, nice hold right there, and that's what Cohen Stockman did not want to show up. Home plate umpire Jay Moran. He thought it was ball 4. He was about to toss the bat, but you never move until you hear the the umpire make the call.
You're exactly right. I thought he was. I thought he was going to make that quick reaction. He caught himself, kind of held there, and then chucked the bat once he heard ball 4. So that's smart. That's being a senior. Now Harder throws over to keep a look there on Stockman. Stockman is certainly a guy with good wheels. Again, we talked about how runs, I think, will be a premium tonight, so don't be surprised if he goes at some point during this AB.
Cohen Stockman didn't go a ton last year, but when he did, he was perfect. 6 for 6 on the season last year. As digging in from the right side, talk about speed, Brady Borton. Borton last year hit .297, just an eyelash under 300. And runner goes, swing and a miss. Did he catch a piece of that? It looks like it is a foul ball. But again, they had the runner on the move. No, it is not.
No, it's just going to go down as really a wild pitch. It's going to get a strike there on the swing, so maybe a little hit and run action that time to try to protect Stockman. Either way, he ends up in scoring position. Now the Bulldogs with a couple opportunities to drive a run home here in this first inning.
The 1-1. Harder deals. Boy, downhill. Good, firm fastball, and Borton swings right through it.
Yeah, nice looking pitch that time from Harder to get on top of Borton 1-2.
Bauman is on the bag at second. That's not just playing behind the runner. And did that hit him? Yes, it did. Off of his bicep, he'll shake it out and make the Cadillac strut down to first base after the hit by pitch. And much like Paulding in the top half of this inning, Defiance now with runners at first and second.
All right there, that's Brady Borton being a senior leader. You know, a lot of guys on that 1-2 pitch, especially in this cold weather, are going to try to make an athletic play to get out of the way. He stayed in there just enough. It grazed him, and now he earns first base. And now Defiance has something cooking here with runners at first and second and just one out. The dangerous Noah Gomez, the senior, stepping to the plate.
Noah Gomez was the team's best hitter last season, a .344 average. He had 14 RBI. He steps up with runners at first and second and less than 2 outs. And now I'm looking at the corners, but in particular, Grady Barton at first is well in on the grass.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Barton is 15-plus feet there in the grass there at the first side. I think you play as deep as you can, keep something from going through.
As this one pushes Gomez off the bump. I don't know if maybe Paulding sees something in the scalp that they otherwise thought, but I don't consider this a sacrifice situation, a bunt situation at all. Do you?
No, I think he's certainly swinging away here with just one out here.
This one a shot, and Coach Weaver saw his eyes light up just a little bit. He gave it the Olay and got out of the way, but that ball was smoked.
Well, I'd like to say Coach Weaver had the athleticism to get out of the way, but I know better. He's simply the ball had passed him before he reacted, but I'm glad he's all right. Good-looking stroke that time by Gomez, but well out in front. And that gets the count even here at 1-1.
I'm looking at where Gomez is setting up in the box, and he's as far back as you can get. I don't think there's any question he is hunting the fastball right now, and he gets scooted off the plate again.
Yeah, and I think that's certainly a scouting report on Harder again. I think he really lives. He's going to be heavy fastball throughout the game. So especially if you get in a hitter's count, you're certainly looking for one you can drive home a run with right here in this scenario.
2-1. We'll see if he gets it. This one a ground ball bounces off the mound. Snagged by Bauman. The throw is in the dirt, and a nice job by Barton. He didn't quite pick it, but he did keep it in front of him. So they get the force at second, advancing to third. Stockman now just 90 feet away, and Gomez aboard courtesy of the fielder's choice.
A really nice job that time by Jackson Griffiths there to get that out there at second base, but credit Barton. That's what you have to do as a first baseman. A lot of times guys will try to make that great pick, and the ball gets away. He came off the base nicely. But now look for Gomez to take off here in this first and third scenario and force Paulding to throw the ball across the infield here on a ground ball to the left side.
Brett Zippel, the senior shortstop, digging in, hit .311 last season. Chance to put the Bulldogs on top as the runner goes. Is he going to get caught in a rundown? They're going to let him go here, as Bauman's not going to get deked into trying to get a hot box situation, allow what could be the lead run to take home plate. Instead, he just throws it back to the pitcher.
Yeah, really surprised there that they elected not to try to get the run down. But again, I understand Defiance has got the right personnel out there running the bases. But now a chance to drive home a couple runs here with a clutch 2-out hit.
And you would figure a base hit scores 2 now, as this is a check swing right back to the mound. Harder's got it as he will underhands to Barton. And the threat snuffed out here in the Defiance first. Score at 1-3 on the putout, and that will do it for the Bulldogs. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We're through 1. No score at Defiance.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
There you take a look at Sam Gershutz, who got himself into a little bit of a jam in the top of the first, but worked his way out of it. Hopefully not quite the same labor required for the senior here in the top of the second. We'll wait and see. No score between the Bulldogs and the Panthers, as Paulding will send 6, 7, and 8 to the plate. Zachary Barton, Stroker Etter, and Jackson Griffith for the first time to face the Defiance senior.
Right now, Gershutz, It has to be relieved. He got through that first inning. He had to throw 23 pitches. He fell behind 4 of the 5 batters, but he got out of it unscathed, so maybe that can give him a little confidence here. Needs to find a way to get some first pitch strikes there early and try to get these Paulding hitters swinging the bat, but Paulding showed great patience that first inning, refused to leave the zone there against Gershutz in the opening frame.
The lights are on here at the field, and hopefully not an omen of things to come, but on the window pane just in front of our spot here in the press box, just a couple of drops of rain. So we'll hope that cooperates at least for about the next hour, hour and a half, and lets this one get played without interruption. As digging in from the right side, Zachary Barton, third baseman, righty-righty matchup. Good sinking fastball. That's strike one.
Right there. You can make a living. Probably a good hold there early in the count.
0-1 comes right after him again. Wow. Now, again, outside, inside, but with 2 strikes, how do you protect here, or what's your approach now if you're Barton?
Right now, you got to expand the zone a little bit, trying to put the ball in play. And there he's going to
carved him off.
Reed. Nasty 12-6 hammer that time from Gershutz that completely froze Zach Barton. And right now, first inning.
That was good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Sam Gershutz. So the leadoff man retired, brings up the catcher, sophomore Stroker Etter, as this one misses in the cellar, ball 1.
The Stroker Etter, athlete for this Panther team, a state wrestler last year for Paulding.
Finished 3rd in the state. If your name is Stroker Etter, you're either a great wrestler or a future NASCAR driver. But, man, that is just an athlete's name. Back shot does not have a play on it.
And also just a sophomore as well, so certainly something Ben Barton's looking forward to having him in the lineup here for the next few seasons.
So 2-1. We'll wait and see what Gershutz decides to deal here. Do you bring him that 12-6 curve, or do you try and even up the count and just bring him a good fastball?
Yeah, I'm a fastball guy, especially when you're talking a younger player getting his first varsity experience. And there's that nice heater that looked like Etter was a little bit tardy on. So good job by Gershutz to get back in the count here at 2-2.
Now 2-2. Here's where you maybe throw him your out pitch.
I think you do. I think you've got him set up for that hammer.
And it is pop foul and out of play.
Great job that time by Etter. Not much you're going to do with that pitch. Had good movement on it, kind of low and away, but right on the knees, right on the corner. Does a great job of spoiling it. 2-2 pitch coming up one more time here.
Gershutz will make him wait as he steps off. Etter steps out. On the way. Misses above the visor, and we go to a full count.
Yeah, this is the 4th 3-ball count here of the afternoon for Gershutz, and we're just 1 out into the 2nd inning. But certainly a big pitch right here coming up.
Payoff on the way from the windup. Got him looking, strike 3. Well, Jay Moran kind of teased everybody there for a second, but eventually ripped the phone book. And back-to-back strikeouts, backwards Ks. To open up the top of the 2nd, we'll bring up the 8-hole Jackson Griffith.
Yeah, great-looking pitch by Gershutz once again, who really has kind of stepped up in some of those critical moments. And now 4 consecutive punch-outs for the senior.
First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. He was sitting fastball. He just didn't get the barrel of the bat on it. This one, ooh, boy, painting the black. Strike 2, and all of a sudden Gershutz quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. See what he deals here. Swing and a miss, and that is capital K. Capital K. Sam Gershutz making short work as he strikes out the side here in the Paulding. At Defiance, you're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford. proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at Baker-
There you take a good look at the Paulding. This young man is just built. Great. Himself into a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the first, but pitched his way out of it in a scoreless ball game right now at Defiance. It is the home opener for the host Bulldogs, as it will be 6-7. Khalil Ligon and Abel Rubio to take their first cuts of the afternoon against Grayson Harder.
Yeah, this is not your 7-8 either.
No, it is not.
With Shaw, Ligon, and Rubio, so certainly a defined part of their order. Shaw trying to get things started off here as we start the bottom of the second inning.
Cody Shaw digs in. Takes in the cellar. Shaw, a season ago, saw the batting average yo-yo 289.
But he started to get some power, I thought, last year, deep in the season, even.
That is an all-or-nothing play, and the freshman third baseman just flashed some fancy leather for the first out.
Yeah, excellent job there by Zach Barton, getting a good jump there off the bat. And as you said, he was one of those all-or-none plays, but he came up big, made a nice, strong throw across the infield to out there for Grayson Harder.
Speaking of big, 6'4", first baseman Khalil Ligon digs in. Ligon, talk with him. He walks differently, he talks differently, he leads differently this year as a senior, Scoop. There was, as you might say, a lot of pop in him last year, even though he was still an upperclassman. But this year, he's been challenged by every coach, whether it was Coach Weaver in golf, again, Coach Lehman in basketball, or Coach Weaver here in baseball. And each one to a coach will tell you he has responded this season.
Well, we had, and I think we saw it too. I think you could see it up here, from the crowd here, watching the development of this young man. Certainly, sky's the limit. Very athletic, and there he's able to take ball two to work himself ahead in the count at 2-1.
I know he says his favorite sport is baseball. It's the sport he'd like to play at the next level if given the opportunity. And I know some people have talked about whether or not he projects as a pitcher. I'm not sure that I see that. I see a first baseman or possibly a corner outfielder, especially if he can get the average up to around at least 300 this year. I think if you're a D2 or even a D3 college, he's worth a sniff.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm really impressed with this Defiance team after watching them mature last year and the success they had throughout the year.
Well, he had a good rip there, and he's talking to himself as he fouled it straight back. He had his timing down, just did not get the sweet spot of the bat on it. And the count full. Payoff pitch. Oh, and he brushed off the plate, but home plate umpire Jay Moran says strike three, and Ligon just bites his lower lip as he heads back to the dugout.
Oh, that's another nasty pitch from Harder. That thing had a lot of kind of run to it, but it caught the inside corner there right at their knees. Boy, that's a tough pitch. And now 2 quick outs for Harder, trying to set the Bulldogs down in order.
So here's Abel Rubio. 0-1 the count. Abel digging in. His sample size, check swing, and he bites his lower lip as he fouled that one straight back.
And right now, Harder on top, 0-2. One of the few times all night he's really not fallen behind a hitter. Looking for back-to-back punch-outs.
And swung on. It's a drop third strike, so the catcher, Eder, will have to go down to first. Barton's there.
Times they held opponents to just one run, so certainly the kind of game we expected if pitchers do it to this point.
As a swing and a miss by the DH, strike one. Well, Scoop, the numbers bear that out as you take a look as an aggregate. All pitchers, not just the starting rotation, but every man that took the bump last season for Defiance, the team ERA was a stingy 2.29. That's going to win you most of your ball games.
Oh, no question about it. And remember, they've got their top three. You could probably argue their top four pitchers back from a year ago. And then you throw a guy like Gershutz in the mix as well. As we mentioned, certainly one of the deepest staffs you're going to see in all Ohio.
Swing and fouled away, staying alive. Count remains 1-2 strikes. Zipfelshaw and Ligon were primarily the rotation last year. Christian Conley came out of the bullpen. Luke Webb, who was just a feel-good story. And then again, Brady Borton even pitched one game last year, and you just keep reloading if you're Defiance.
Well, that's the way it's always been. That's been that way for so long. You got to go back to 1980, last time Defiance did not have a winning season. So these guys not only know how to win, they expect to win. And again, they've always got that big target on their back, but they seem to always rise to the occasion as well.
3-2 the counts, and after going 0-2, Gershutz upset at himself as he throws 4 out of the strike zone to surrender a leadoff walk.
Yeah, that's certainly a mistake there by Gershutz. You get on top 0-2, you're looking at the number 9 hitter, but then you lose him. But now that turns the lineup over to the junior Colton Hunt, who walked back in that first inning.
Hunt reached second, but was unable to advance as a quick throw over. Unfortunately, we do not have early season stats on Paulding. They've got a couple games underneath their belt. Squaring to bunt, and boy, he went after one around his shoe tops. Strike one.
That's the one thing, it certainly we expect to play small ball here, but it's so important you have to stay in the zone. If that ball's not there, you're pulling back. The runner's not overcommitting on a sac bunt attempt. We'll see if it's still on here at 0-1.
Well, Shaw tries to frame it up, but it's ball one. Taking a look at the infield, and no surprises, Logan Hutchison is playing about as deep as a softball third baseman would. He backs up a couple steps, but he is still in on the grass, and this pitch brushes Hunt back, but it's ball 2.
Yeah, he was breathing down the neck there of Colton Hunt there on that 0-1 pitch after Hunt showed bunt on the initial pitch of this AB.
Elston, not even a modest lead as this pitch a bit inside, and after looking so strong for the last, 5 batters, all of a sudden Gershutz struggling just a little bit here as the count is 3-1.
And again, another mistake. You got a guy trying to give himself up early at bat, but now you've gone to another 3-ball count.
This one, a swing and a miss. Well, if we wondered if the sacrifice was on, it is not. And now the count full, 3-2. I guess my question is, how aggressive do you get with Elston at first base here?
Yeah, that depends on your personnel, but I think we're going to see an aggressive fastball. We do, but that one way upstairs. And once again, Hunt's able to induce the second walk he's seen here in 2 at-bats. But Gershut's now worked himself in the jam here with first and second, no one out. And
this is the sign of a senior-laden ball team here, Scoop. You don't need your coach to come out. Here comes Ziffel. You just saw Ligon. And now Shaw coming out, all trying to settle Gershut's down.
Yeah, and again, that's what you love to see as a coach, that the guys really stepping up for each other. And again, that's that baseball IQ that's so important. And we've seen it. These guys in Defiance, you grow up around the game of baseball. You can't help it. We've seen the success the Bulldogs have had year in, year out. But right now, trying to overcome a little adversity here with no one out here, 2 on in this third inning.
A little bit of it is self-induced here as Gershut's trying to lock back in. Squaring to bunt. Boy, that was right at him, and it's going to die. Quickly up, Shaw. Nobody's covering first. Now, Shaw is saying he was interfered with by the batter, and Rick Weaver's coming out to talk with Jay Moran as well, and I think we're going to have a meeting between the umpires.
There's a reason that ball died. It hit harder as he was out of the box, so the question is, did Mark Whitehammer see it, from the B position there out by second base? Boy, that's a tough one for him to see.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably going to stand.
Oh, this is a tough break for Defiance. And Coach Weaver has a legitimate complaint. And, Scoop, again, here's the problem, because with just a 2-man crew, you are asking a lot of that fielding umpire. He is almost completely behind the pitcher's mound. You've got to be over to give yourself a little bit of an angle there. But as that ball's in play, you're also moving. Yeah. That's very difficult.
It really is. Mark Whitehammer has no chance to make that call from out there. You need to be down the line, first baseline, to see it, and that's the problem you have with just a 2-man crew. We'll see if Paulding can cash in as they have the bases juiced, no one out. Gershut's misses with that fastball downstairs, so he's quickly behind once again to Jones, 1-0. Remember, Jones, one of their top hitters, leading RBI man a year ago.
Well, he went fastball hunting and swung on the first pitch and flew out. As a matter of fact, up until that base hit or bunt hit by Harder just a batter ago, he was the only Paulding player to put a ball in play.
And a lot of times you might take in the scenario, but I think you give Jones, he's a senior, very talented. You give him that green light if you see the fastball in your nitro zone.
2-0. He can be particular here. If you're Jones, do you treat this like a 3-0 count? I mean, you basically can zone up.
Yeah, I just think you're looking for one pitch in one spot.
Yep.
If that thing's not in your nitro zone, you're taking all the way here, forcing Gershut's to make some quality pitches.
Well, Jones is right on top of the plate, and he takes strike one.
I think that's a right move that time by Jones. Again, he's a guy that's got a lot of confidence. He's not going to need 3 swings to get a quality AB here against Gershut's.
Hopefully we can show you our camera angle from behind home plate here, as he is right on top of it, and he stepped in the bucket a little bit there. How about that? Going with the bender, and it fooled him. Strike 2.
Yeah, nice job on the off-speed pitch there from Gershut's, and Jones completely out top. Now if you're Jones, you got to be situational. Put the ball in play. Try to drive home the game's first run.
Big pitch coming up here, the 2-2. Well struck into right center field. Borton going back, and coming over will be Stockman to make the catch, but it is more than deep enough to score the game's first run as Elston tags up from third. It's 1-0 Paulding.
Wow, what a great piece of situational hitting by Kane Jones that time. He got something up. He knew he could elevate it, get a good swing on it. Defiance is able to get the fly out there as Cohen Stockman hauls it in, but not before we saw Hayden Elston, who'd reached on a walk, tag up and score from third base. So Paulding strikes first here against the Bulldogs, up 1-0.
Here's Grady Barton stepping in as the remaining 2 Paulding-based runners could not advance. So runners remain at first and second with 1 out. And here's where, if you're Gershut's, you got to be thinking pitch to contact. A ground ball potentially gets you out of this inning.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot of times the pitcher, it's just about getting guys hit your pitch. So make sure you're locating, mixing things up. There's a good-looking fastball right there that paints that inside edge to even the count up at 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 aboard, 1-0 our score. Paulding breaking the scoreboard here in the top of the third. Gershut's trying to keep the damage at a minimum, and it misses inside.
Right now, if you're Gershutz, you have to have confidence in your stuff. You were able to retire Barton on strikes back in that first inning. But again, you do not want to go into a 3-ball count here.
The 2-1. Gershutz deals, tries to nibble on the outside corner, does not get the call. 3-1.
Boy, this is the 8th time today, and we're just 7 outs into this game for the Defiance defense. 8th time they've gone into a 3-ball count. Boy, you're playing with fire when you do that.
This one popped up. Foul territory, drifting over. Ligon makes the call and the catch, and that is a big second out.
It really was, especially when you consider the fact you're down 3-1 count to the 4-hole hitter, Grady Barton. Great job there by Ligon. I don't think there's going to be such thing as a routine fly today, so he stayed with it, really locked in on that. Big second out there for Gershutz.
So digging in from the right side, but now with 2 down, it's going to be Nick Bauman, who is 0 for 1, struck out swinging to end the first. Steps up with a chance to help tack on another insurance run, as Paulding has broken the scoreboard here in the top of the third, and that pitch way out of the zone, ball 1. I'm looking at the Stars and Stripes down the left field line, and they are blowing even stronger straight in than they were to open up this game. Boy, that was a swing, pretty much all upper body right there. Found straight back, 1-1.
And for Gershutz, that's a 62nd pitch here. We're still in the 3rd inning, so he really has a high pitch count. You know, you're going to have that a little bit when you're a strikeout guy, but he really has hurt himself by falling behind hitters.
This one floats upstairs, and I'm not sure how that didn't hit Bauman. Well, Scoop, it's been feast or famine for the Defiance starter here. He started off the game a little dicey, walked the first 2, and then looked like he'd fallen into a rhythm, striking out 5 straight. And then all of a sudden, it's come back to bite him, and for the first time today, maybe trying to hump it up just a little too much there, and it's out of the strike zone for ball 3.
And again, the 9th 3-ball count. Remember, the only hit Gershutz give up was that sac bunt that turned into a base hit.
Yep.
When the ball made contact with Harder.
3-1. Obligatory fastball is strike 2. And the runners will have the advantage as they'll be moving with the pitch here with a full count and 2 away. Right now, if you are Paulding, only 2 balls through 2 2/3 innings have even been put in play. And one, as you talked about, was the tough luck hit batter out of the batter's box, as that one just off the outside corner, ball 4. And they're loaded.
A great eye that time by the freshman, Nick Bauman, as that ball was just maybe an inch off the plate there. But either way, he's able to draw a walk. And unfortunately for Gershutz,
I think we're going to have a call to the pen.
That's the 5th walk here he's given up tonight.
They're going to make a move. What we're going to do is take this call to the bullpen. We'll get you the name and the stats on the new Bulldog hurler as he'll inherit bases loaded, 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. Don't go anywhere. We're back with more on DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank. Everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Well, somewhat of a dicey situation. Senior Kaysen Linnebrink has inherited coming out of the bullpen, as Paulding has already put the game's first run across the board here in the top of the third. But with 2 down, the bases are loaded, and he will step into a high leverage situation as he will face the 6-hole Zachary Barton. No room for error here, Scoop. You're going to have to come after him.
And right now, I think if you're Linnebrink here, you're a senior, you got a freshman there, you're in a tough spot, but right now attack the zone. Trust your stuff, trust your defense. One pitch can get you out of this jam.
Exactly.
And remember, with the conditions, I think it's going to be really a pitcher's type day if you can command the zone. So right now we'll see if Linnebrink can get on top of the freshman Zach Barton, who struck out in 3 pitches his first at bat.
Well, he stepped off the rubber here, but now toes it up again. Long look in. Let's see what type of target Shaw gives him. As he deals, this one kind of forearmed, slow roll it a short. Ziffel charges, accurate throw, and just like that, 1 pitch does take care of the situation. Score at 6-3 on the putout, and that will snuff out the Paulding threat. Not before the Panthers put 1 run across on 1 hit. No errors, and the bases left loaded. We'll head to the bottom of the third for the first time today. The hosts playing from behind. We'll see how the Bulldogs respond. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at Defiance High School, we head to the bottom of the third, and there you take a look at a mountain of a young man, Grayson Harder, the senior starter for Paulding, and he takes the bump in the bottom of this inning with something he hasn't had so far this afternoon, the lead. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors for Paulding, no runs on no hits, no errors for Defiance. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller, as Harding will deal to the 9-hole. Colt Ward, the freshman DH, and then it turns over. Logan Hutchison on deck, Cohen Stockman in the hole. It wasn't that Sam Gershutz pitched all that badly for Defiance, Scoop, but it was just feast or famine. He struggled to open up the game, then looked like he'd settled in and became untouchable for 2 innings, and then all of a sudden fought himself in that third. What's his final line for today?
Well, for Sam Gershutz, he went 2 2/3 innings. He allowed just that 1 bunt single. That certainly was very questionable when he gave up that 1 run. He had 5 strikeouts, but he also had 5 walks and threw 2 2/3 innings. He threw 67 pitches. So I think Rick Weaver, certainly did the right thing. He gave that young man an opportunity, but even the batters he got first pitch strikes on, Brent, he ended up falling behind. So you just can't do that to a quality team like Paulding. But right now, Defiance comes up just a run down here. Still plenty of baseball left.
Ward digs in, trying to get that all-important leadoff man aboard. He would represent the tying run. Harder looking for another shutdown inning as the 0-1, swing and a miss. And while Gershutz was kind of riding a little bit of a roller coaster, Harder looks like he might be getting stronger as this game is moving along.
We talked about his numbers last year, 10-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, and he's been really good. And there he
add another here.
4th strikeout of the afternoon against just 1 walk. So to put up these kind of numbers against the Defiance team really speaks volumes about Grayson Harder.
That's his 3rd straight strikeout. Going back to an inning ago, lineup turns over. Logan Hutchison, who got carved up in a very uncommon 3-pitch at bat to lead off the game, digs in and takes a good sinking fastball for a strike here.
Now, right now, Harder really pitched with a lot of confidence. This is what you want to do with the lead. You want to attack the zone, keep your defense sharp.
This one floats upstairs. Hutch also with excellent speed, trying to get him aboard. Hutchison hit .273 a season ago and pops this one late swing, fouls it over onto the softball field. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Right now, Hutchinson just trying to put the ball in play with 2 strikes, expand his zone a little bit, 2-strike approach, maybe try to put the ball on the left side somewhere.
That one scoots him off the plate. Evens things up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The middle infield having a quick meeting. Bowman and Griffith, they're playing natural positions. Barton at third is in a couple of steps in front of the bag. As this one, a shot ripped up the middle. It hits the bag, but still has enough juice to get through. And the Bulldogs have their first hit of the afternoon.
Tremendous AB that time for Logan Hutchinson. You talk about quality at bat. He was fooled a couple times early in the at bat, but he came right back. Good 2-strike approach. He's able to slap one up the middle. And now the Bulldogs have their leadoff man aboard here for the first time this afternoon.
1 down, though, is Cohen.
Make that 1 down.
I was going to say.
Leadoff hitter aboard.
As the throw over. And Paulding expecting Logan Hutchinson to be aggressive on the base pass as Cohen Stockman digs in. No official at bat this afternoon. As he walked, he's standing deep in the box and right on top of the plate. And the runner goes. Great jump. Throw down to second. Not in time. That was a very accurate throw by the sophomore Eder.
Yeah, credit Eder. He really threw a seed down there to the second base and a quick tag, but credit Hutchinson. He really stole that base on Harder. He was certainly moving all the way, and I like the fact that Stockman took a pitch. Now he's got a chance to drive home that tying run here with just 1 out.
0-1 with the tying run in scoring position. Showing bunts, but pulling back. Ball 1. I was about to say I'm not sure why Barton was coming in at first base. Still, almost halfway up the first base line. And a unique play here again by the freshman shortstop Bauman. He was actually standing on the bag. He's not just pinching, he literally is on the bag as this one a strike up the knees to Stockman.
Well, I like the idea looking to bunt here because with the runner at second, we saw third baseman Zach Bartman playing deep, but now with 2 strikes,
not now.
You would expect Stockman to be swinging away.
The 1-2, Stockman will have to be protecting from the stretch. Harder deals. This one a shot up the middle. It's got eyes and it will get through. Having to hold, and are they going to go ahead and wave? No. Digging for second, though, and a little bit of miscommunication as Bauman has to eat the baseball, turning an extra 90 feet into this one as Stockman now takes second base on the play.
Again, that's that baseball IQ. Credit Stockman. A lot of guys on that base hit like that are just kind of going through the motions there, patting himself on the back, but he was thinking 2 all the way, and once he saw that throw not go to second base, no hesitation, and Stockman takes the back end, and now they have the potential go-ahead run there at second base and just 1 out, and right where they want to be with Brady Borton, a .297 hitter a year ago, stepping to the dish.
Borton will step in with a chance not only to tie but give his team the lead. Looking at situationals from a season ago. Again, just 1 game under Defiance's belt. That a win last night. So this is just their 2nd game of the season. Borton, a season ago, with runners in scoring position, hit .500. He was 3 for 6. As he fouls the first pitch back, he wasn't guessing.
A good-looking fastball that time from Harder. And you're right, Borton, he did not get cheated, but just couldn't quite square it up.
Borton, no official at bat as he wore a pitch back in the first. Awaits the 0-1 here, and he wears another. Well, black and blue, he looks skyward. It's all right.
Well, his teammates are saying, hey, it looks good on you.
One for each bicep.
It looks good on you, and now they've got the bases juiced here. And right now, another senior, Noah Gomez, the top Bulldog hitter from a year ago, now steps to the plate with no place to put him.
And the infield draws in.
Paulding brings all 4 infielders in up on the edge of the grass here. So right now trying to nail that potential tying run at third base on any ground ball to the infield. But what that does, it opens up some holes here for a hard grounder to get through.
First pitch, a little bit of a delayed decision to swing, and he swings over the top of it for strike 1. if we can get a pulled back shot from either our home plate or our first base dugout to see Paulding's infield is drawn in as the 0-1. Swung on, driven fairly deep to right field. Going back, it's well over Hunt's head, and this may clear the bases. 1 run is home, 2 runs home. Coach Weaver waving Borton around third and standing up into third base with a bases-clearing triple. Noah Gomez gives the Bulldogs their first lead of the afternoon.
Now, how about Gomez right there coming up big as Defiance are very opportunistic here in this third inning. And Gomez, boy, down 0-1 the count. Boy, he was hunting on that pitch there, and he drove it a long way right into a stiff wind. Ends up clearing the bases. A 3-run triple there for the senior Noah Gomez. And Defiance does not allow Paulding to get that shutdown inning, and they quickly take the lead here looking for more.
Again, 90 feet away for Brez Ziffel, still less than 2 outs as he's trying to chase Gomez home. Infield back at regular play depth with the exception the corners even at both bags. Squaring to bunt, popped up, long run, Eder can't get there. So
yeah, certainly not surprised by that bunt scenario right there. You got a guy like Brez Ziffel that handles the bat really well. You want to be greedy here. You got to lead, but try to tack on another. And right now, if you're at third base there with Noah Gomez, as Barton comes in at third base, you just go with him there. You've got nobody holding you on behind.
The 0-1 around the visor. Evens the count up at 1 apiece. And all of a sudden, the complexion of this game has changed just in the space of 1 at bat. A bases-clearing triple by Noah Gomez. And a crooked number for the Bulldogs. They're looking for more. Got him out on his front foot. Brez talking to himself as he swings over the top of it for strike 2.
Great-looking pitch by Harder. And, again, such a tough pitch to lay off. Well executed. Just below the knees there. Right now, if you're Ziffel, you got to be situational here. Try to find a way to put the ball in play, drive home another big run.
The 1-2. Harder deals. And was time being called? Yes, I believe it was. That pitch will not count.
Yeah, Zippel had asked for time there and was granted by home plate umpire Jay Moran. Yeah, right now, Harder looking for a key punch out here.
The 1-2 out of the stretch. Harder deals, check swing. Ziffel stays alive as he fouls it back.
That's a great job by Ziffel. That's a pitch. There's not much you can do with it. If you put it in play, it's probably going to be an easy rollout. Nobody will advance. Instead, he fights it off. And now the count remains at 1-2, but another RBI opportunity for Brez coming up.
Swing and a miss. He chased a letter-high fastball, actually above the letters. Strike 3. So 2 down.
Well, that's the 5th strikeout there for Grayson Harder. And right now, just trying to minimize things here. He has 2 outs. You still have Noah Gomez on third base, but now have to go through the senior Cody Shaw, who grounded out to Zach Borton his first time up, where Barton made a tremendous play on him.
Oh, he pulled a string. He got Shaw on his front foot. He wanted to pull the trigger, but couldn't get his timing down. That's what you call pitching backwards. Strike 1. Harder, trying to lock in and keep the damage to just 3 runs. This one, high pop-up, right side, drifting over into foul territory, and I'm watching our cameraman, Richard, try and follow that ball because our angle in the press box is cut off. Out of play. And he'll get himself another swing, but now down in the count, 0-2.
A nice job by Harder there to get Shaw in a hole, 0-2. Now we'll see if Shaw maybe shortens up here a little bit. Looking for a 2-strike approach, looking to drive home another Bulldog run.
Well, the rain is coming. It's a little bit of a hit and spit right now, as my grandfather used to say, as this one chopped foul toward the third base side. Holding off, certainly nothing that would stop this game, but we know that the rain is coming, and they're hoping to get this one in unscathed, as we're looking at 1 aboard, 2 down, 3 already across here in the bottom of the third. Wanting to get 1 more inning in at the very least to make it official. So this one, a ground ball just foul up the third base line.
Well, that's why it's a game of inches. A good-looking swing that time from Cody Shaw, but just a little bit too much out in front. Just hooked foul before it got to the third base bag there. And that's a break for Paulding. But right now, Harder just trying to work himself out of this situation where he's already given up 3 runs here in this third inning.
Shaw hanging tough with 2 strikes. He's found a couple away. The 0-2 on the way again from Harder. On his front foot, but that laced into left field and drifting over. Evans makes the catch. Well, Shaw put the barrel of the bat on it, but lines out to left field. And that will do it for Defiance here in the bottom of the third, but not before the Bulldogs come up with a big crooked number. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Bulldogs 3, Panthers 1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
On the bump for his first full innings worth of work. And with the lead, Kason Lennebrink. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the host Defiance Bulldogs. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors for the visiting Paulding Panthers. We'll wait and see. 1 more inning here, and we've got an official game in the book. Scoop, with that wind continuing to whip straight in from left field, I don't know if it's raining a little bit more or if the wind is just bringing more of what looks like more rain up against our windows here in the press box, but it certainly looks like the precipitation is starting to come down enough. I see umbrellas in the stands, and I'm actually seeing some people look like they might be heading toward the exit. So it's getting a little bit more dicey with each passing inning here.
Well, again, you have some cool temps. You have a good breeze out there. You throw in the moisture. Boy, that makes it awfully tough out there. But these guys just thrilled to be out here today.
Absolutely.
And, Voice said, shutdown innings win ball games. Paulding unable to get that shutdown inning after they took the lead. They gave up 3. Now Defiance needs that shutdown inning. They just got a lead, and now you want to come up and make it stand here. That's what Kason Lennebrink's looking to do.
You see the current weather right now, 50 degrees. Feels like 46, so the wind isn't terribly bad. But in addition to the weather, you know what else they have here? Turf. You can play on this. So we won't quite worry just yet. As first pitch swinging, leadoff man will be the 7-hole Stroker Redder. He took a healthy cut and comes up empty. He'll be followed by Jackson Griffith on deck. And the 9-hole, the DH, Hayden Elston in the hole. Swing and a miss here. Quickly, 0-2.
How about Lennebrink? He's pitching with some tempo. He's getting the ball out there, firing in there. Remember last inning he came in, that base-loaded jam, 1 pitch, 1 out to limit the damage.
0-2, looking to get the leadoff man here after struggling and giving up a run last inning. He came on, and that one was about a 58-footer as it bounces, and a nice job by Shaw. There's the catcher in him. He didn't need to get in front of that, but he did anyway. 1-2. Brink deals, struck him out, swing and a miss.
Wow, Lennebrink looked awfully good out of the bullpen here today. And again, you get on top of hitters, give them negative counts, you've got your whole arsenal open. And that time a well-executed 1-2 pitch.
Yep.
And Lennebrink has his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Pitching with some tempo right now as Griffith will dig in from the right side. Griffith 0 for 1, struck out swinging his first trip up and takes a strike.
Well, that's what you want, keep your defense on their toes. First pitch strikes go a long ways.
And working quickly. He gets the ball, and he's going right back to work as this one misses low and away. We're up here in the nice, dry, semi-warm press box, but it's even chilly up here. It is far from spring-like on the field as a very late swing fouled up the first base line. You know, it's chilly when they bring blankets to the press box. So, Hardy Midwesterners. Scoop will rent that out. He'll give you $5 an hour for it. So, 1-2. Oh, now I guilted her. This one a ground ball up the middle. Zippel's got it. On it quickly, 2 down. No, that's okay. But thank you very much. Oh, goodness. I feel bad about that now. I literally am
We always got great hospitality here at Defiance, and 2 blankets within seconds come our way. But
I was going to say.
We'll tough it out. Trying to act like men up here in the press box, right?
Absolutely.
Right there was a great play by
you.
Brett Ziffel. You know, he's got that quick release as a shortstop. You know, a lot of people don't notice, but he's such a solid defender out there. And again, if you want to have a good season, you've got to be strong for the middle, and it starts right there.
Well, Defiance College is going to be getting an excellent defensive shortstop next season.
Yeah, no question. Oh, that's a great find for Defiance.
0-1, now make it 0-2 as the bottom fell out of that pitch to the DH Hayden Elston.
And again, a lot of tempo from Lindenbrink here. Again, he's got everything working right now. He's really hitting his spots. And once again on top, this time of Elston, 0-2.
Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. He just caught a piece of it. Count remains 0-2. Long look in. Lindenbrink deals. Misses upstairs. All right, 0-2, you can maybe waste a pitch, possibly a couple, see if you can get him to chase. You just come at him with your best right now.
Well, I think it's okay to nibble right here. You want to be competitive. You don't want to just, I think, completely waste a pitch, but maybe something an inch off the plate, maybe an inch downstairs. Try to get the zone expanded here a little bit.
1-2, ground ball. Charging in at short, off his shoe top. Ziffel just makes the difficult look routine. 6-3, it is a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board for Paulding. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Bulldogs 3, Panthers 1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Bottom of the 4th at Defiance. Rain, very light. It's spitting. The wind, very gusty. Mid-50 temperatures, but it's dropping quickly with every passing inning. Three runs on 3 hits. No errors for the hosts. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors for visiting Paulding. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Bottom of the 4th sees the bottom of the order for the Bulldogs. Khalil Ligon will lead it off. Abel Rubio on deck, and Colt Ward, the freshman DH, in the hole.
Well, we knew it would be a tough day for hitters today, but credit Defiance. They only got 3 hits, but they bunched them all together in that last inning to quickly overcome that 1-0 deficit to take a 3-1 lead. They get the shutdown inning they needed. Now you want to extend leads. That's always the goal as a coach, extend leads. And now Defiance has their first opportunity to do that here this afternoon.
Ligon 0 for 1, struck out looking back in the second, takes one in the dirt. 1-0. Harder had been untouchable up until an inning ago. As this one laced into left center field, and it will get down in front of Evans. Khalil Liggins keeps the hit parade going. He's now 1 for 2 on the afternoon. And the Bulldogs have their leadoff man aboard.
Wow, that's a great swing by Ligon. He really was up there with a plan there. He got something across the plate. Boy, he turned that baseball around in a hurry. And Defiance now has their leadoff man on base. And a good speedster of Ligon on first. And a potential maybe bunt situation coming up for Defiance.
Are we going to have a pinch runner here? We will. Ligon will check out. And in to pinch run is going to be Drew Allegretti. Allegretti doing a little bit of stretching.
Playing first base for Defiance, number 7, Drew Allegretti.
Once again, I would think you're going to expect Rubio to play a little small ball here, try to find a way to advance Allegretti into scoring position. And quickly, a smart move that time by Harder. You always want to try to maybe get the
batter to tip
his handler a little bit. He's going to show bunt there. So, again, that's just a excellent baseball IQ there from Harder.
Rubio did not show his hand if he is bunting, and he takes over his head here, and it doesn't matter because Allegretti was off with the pitch, and he's into second base easily.
Boy, how about Allegretti? I mean, there's just no chance to throw him out. I mean, that could have been a major league catcher throwing the baseball, and he's going to be safe by Miles. So great jump that time by Drew Allegretti. And now Defiance will have 3 opportunities to drive him home from second base here, trying to extend the lead.
Would be a big insurance run. And now squaring to bunt and pulling back. Rubio looking at a 2-0 count.
Great job by Rubio. You know, I love the bunt opportunity there. Get him to third with less than 2 outs, but so important. Stay in the zone. That ball clearly downstairs. Good hold by Rubio. And now he's in a hitter's count 2-0. We'll see if he's got the green light now to swing away.
Harder. Boy, the corner, and especially Barton at first, is charging. This is a beauty up the third base line. The only play will be at first, but the sacrifice does the job as Allegretti at third now with less than 2 down on the sacrifice bunt by Abel Rubio.
That's as good a sacrifice bunt you're going to see at any level. Great job that time by Abel Rubio. That was a tremendous play by Grayson Harder. A lot of guys are going to beat that thing out, but Harder, with his long strides, quick release, and his strong arm, is able to throw out Rubio, but not before he gets the job done. We'll see if Defiance maybe goes back-to-back here, little small ball.
Well, the corners are in now, although retreating very quickly at third was Zachary Barton. There is action in the bullpen. It's number 27. That is Hayden Elston, a senior, but right now I don't think there's any question Paulding's going to continue to ride the arm of their ace, Grayson Harder, as that one misses outside.
I'm really surprised to see the Paulding middle infield deep on this scenario. I mean, you can't expect to score a lot of runs against the pitching Defiance, so right now I don't think you want to concede a run with a grounder up the middle.
They are back. The 1-1 count to the freshman Ward. He squares to bunt. It short hops the catcher, and Eder just made a tremendous stop.
Great play by the sophomore stroker Eder. Boy, that looked like it was going to be trouble, perhaps a wild pitch or run home, but a great glove play that at least temporarily scratches off a run for Defiance.
2-1 the count. We'll see if Ward gets something to work with here. Harder deals. He challenged him, and he came up empty on a big swing.
Boy, he did have a healthy cut that time, but Harder just a little bit better on that one. So 2-2 count here. And, again, you got to be situational right now. If you're Colt Ward, just try to put the ball in play. Put a little pressure on that Paulding defense.
Harder, long look at third. Comes home, tries to brush him off the plate. Ball 3.
Well, that pitch just missed inside, and so now Harder in a little tough spot here with the 3-2 pitch coming up.
You got to be sitting fastball here, don't you?
You have to.
Payoff pitch. Harder from the stretch. Deals. Fouled straight back. Boy, he got it right in his wheelhouse, just didn't barrel it up.
He did. He got that fastball that was up in his zone there a little bit. He had a healthy swing, but just couldn't quite barrel it, as you mentioned, Brent.
So we'll do it again. Payoff pitch on the way. 3-2. This one well struck into center field. Ranging over. Jones has got a beat on it. It's deep enough. Allegretti will tag. He'll do so without a play at the plate, and a huge insurance run for the Bulldogs to make it 4-1.
Wow, I can't tell you enough about the quality at bat that was from the freshman Colt Ward. You could see he was looking for something to elevate. He got it. Boy, he had a great swing on that and does the job. Really gives himself up to score the run. Well, that's a tremendous play for a freshman.
Yep.
Defiance is able to extend that lead to 4-1.
So here's Hutch digging in for the third time. Swings over the top of a nasty-looking bender. Strike one. Hutchison, 1 for 2 with a run scored. That coming back just an inning ago in the third when Defiance put up 3 to take the lead. They've tacked on an insurance run this inning. Now with the bases empty and 2 away, we'll see what he gets done here. A little bit of an inside-out swing, and it gets down. Fair ball down the left field line, and he's not hesitating. Around first, digging for 2, and he'll get there standing up.
Tremendous inside-out swing by Hudson, but again, you have to love the aggressiveness. You knew he was going to his first step out of the box. There was no hesitation with 2 outs. They weren't going to be able to stop him, even if they did put the stop sign up. But again, a 2-out double. Now Defiance here, you want to try to be greedy here with 2 outs. You've already got 1 run across. Why not make it 2 here? Looking for another clutch 2-out hit.
Harder trying to recompose himself as he stepped off the rubber. Now locking in. His focus is Cohen Stockman. Stockman, 1 for 1. Walked back in the first. Singled, took second on a fielder's choice on really a throw that kind of went into no man's land. Came around to score 1 of Defiance's 3 runs an inning ago. So 0-1 the count to the senior right fielder. Base hit most likely is going to bring home another run. Hutchison with good speed at second base. They're holding him. And that one a grounder. Oh, look what I found at first. Grady Barton. That went right into his glove, and he's smiling at second base. And Jackson Griffith said, yeah, look at my cat-like reflexes. So that takes away a hit. It most likely takes away a run, but not before Defiance puts up 1 more here in the fourth on 2 hits and 1 left aboard. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Bulldogs 4, Panthers 1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Top of the 5th at Defiance. 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the host Bulldogs. For the visiting Paulding Panthers, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. Brent Balbanon alongside Scoop Miller welcoming you back on DCTV Sports, our first spring broadcast of 2025. It was designed to be tomorrow against Napoleon, but the forecast doesn't exactly look promising. And rather than get all the equipment set up only to have to tear it down, we decided to come over on a Friday night, and right now the host Bulldogs have not disappointed as Linnebrink on for his 2nd full innings worth of work. He made short work of the Panthers an inning ago. Scoop 1, 2, 3. We'll see what he's got in him here for his 2nd full inning.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Linnebrink and for Defiance, for that matter. You know, this is a team that really understands the game. These guys know their roles. These guys have been through really the mill here the last 4 years of their career, a lot of these seniors. But again, this is a good Paulding team. So certainly right now, if you're Defiance, you have to stay locked in. You love being up 4-1, but you got to finish the deal. So right now, a big inning coming up for the Bulldogs. And again, we talked about it. Shutdown innings win games. And Defiance just put up a run in the last half inning. So now come right back up. Don't give that run back. Keep this a 4-1 game here and keep all the momentum on your side of the field.
Linnebrink with an inning and a third under his belt, looking for his 2nd full innings worth of work. And he'll deal to the top of the order. Colton Hunt stepping to the plate. Grayson Harder on deck. Kane Jones in the hole. Hunt. Well, we've seen a lot of swings from Paulding's hitters today, Scoop, where just kind of all arms or from the waist above. I'm not sure if it's hesitancy or just a hitch here or there, but they've again, there's another one. Just all arms kind of lunging at the ball, and he knows it. Strike 2.
Yeah, you're right. There's been a lot of what I would say defensive swings here from Paulding, just really not getting that full swing into it, just looking a little bit hesitant. And right there is a good-looking 0-2 pitch. It just misses on that back door. But, again, that's a quality pitch. That means you're hitting your spots there. Again, that's what you want to be. You want to be competitive when you're up 0-2 and not just waste a pitch.
The 1-2 on the way. This one popped up, shallow center field. Going back and making the call and the catch is Zipfel. Again, it looked good off the bat, but, Scoop, all you have to do is take a look at the stars and stripes down the left field line. The wind is going to not only knock down, it's going to bring a lot of fly balls back into play.
Yeah, and credit Zipfel that time. You know, that's a senior play right there. He got back right away, had to actually come back in, but that's what you want to do. A lot of guys will tend to drift on the ball, and the wind will play havoc. Great play again by the senior, and a quick first out for Lindenbrink.
Sure is Harder digging in. 1 for 1. He had that bunt single back in the third inning on a ball that it certainly looked like it hit him outside the box, but just too tough of an angle, and the umpires did get together and talk it over, Jay Moran and Mark Weidenheimer, but neither had an angle on it. It led to what would be the first run of the ball game, but the lead proved to be short-lived for the Panthers as Defiance put up 3 in the bottom of the frame. They've tacked on one more to lead it 4-1.
And you're right, with that two-man crew, that's just almost an impossible call to make because, you know, the home plate umpire is going to be blocked by the catcher and runner, and then there's no one down the first base line to have the angle.
This one pops straight back. Is Shaw on it? He is. Again, the wind played havoc with that ball, but the senior made it look easy 2 away.
Yeah, you know, you see in high school baseball a lot of times a ball like that ends up dropping, being a foul ball, but again, there's that leadership there. Nice play by the senior Cody Shaw, make that look really easy. And now Defiance once again looking to go consecutive 1, 2, 3 innings here against the Panthers.
So here's Jones digging in right on top of the plate, but again swung over the top of it, and that one was just a great bender.
It really was. Good 12-6 bender that time by Lindenbrink, who again not afraid to pitch backwards. I mean, he's so effective, has confidence to throw any pitch at any count.
Inside 1-1. And we had first pitch at 5 o'clock, and we are an hour and a half into this ball game. As this one, nips the black on the inside front door curve, and it's strike 2.
That's a great pitch. And again, probably a good hold by Jones. You know, you're really not going to do anything to that pitch. But now with 2 strikes, you have to expand the zone. So now you're going to have to find a way to maybe fight that off, try to find a way to find some real estate in there and get another base hit.
Lindenbrink deals. The bottom fell out of that one, and tagging just for good measure, Shaw retires Kane Jones, and that will be a 1, 2, 3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Defiance on top, 4-1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at Defiance High School, and on the bump we have a new pitcher for Paulding. As you can close the book on Grayson Harder, as he goes 4 innings, allows 4 runs on 5 hits. Really 1 inning spelled his doom here this afternoon. But Coach Barton says we're going to give your arm a rest, as now on the bump you see the right-hander, and this is Hayden Elston. Elston, a senior, and we don't have a line on him, so we'll just kind of watch a little bit here during warm-ups. Looks like he's got a little bit of a tighter, I don't want to say stiff, but certainly a more compact delivery. And from watching him during warm-ups here, it doesn't look like he's going to bring a blazing fastball. So, Scoop, what do you see here? He keeps that right elbow in very tight. He doesn't have much of a long delivery.
He doesn't. He also has a short stride, so a lot of times we have guys like that the ball tends to be upstairs a little bit more. We'll see how it plays out. I've actually never seen Elston pitch on the bump, but he'll replace Grayson Harder, as you mentioned, Brent, went 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs all earned. Harder did have 5 strikeouts, just 1 walk, but he did hit a couple batters. He threw, to my count, unofficially, 74 pitches through those 4 innings.
So he's finished his warm-ups, as it will be the meat of the order, 3, 4, and 5, Borton, Gomez, and Zippel. As this one misses above the letters, make it 2 balls and no strikes. Brady Borton, no official at bat today. He's been to the plate twice, and he's worn a couple. We'll see how trip number 3 takes care of him.
Yeah, the human pincushion, he's not afraid to wear one and just find a way to get on base. So his on-base percentage is sparkling here this afternoon.
The 2-1, Elston comes from the windup. Swung on and over the top of it. We'll even the count up at 2 apiece.
Good-looking change that time from Elston that we saw Borton just a little bit out in front of.
2-2. Brings a bender. That's short by about a couple of feet. And the count full.
A good job by Borton. Again, quality at bat here, working the count. Trying to get that leadoff man on base here for the Bulldogs.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strike 3.
A good-looking bender that time on a 3-2 pitch there by Elston, who gets his first strikeout in his first at-bat.
Second baseman Noah Gomez.
So I'll bring up the second baseman, Noah Gomez, who's had the hit of the day so far. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first, but in the third, took an 0-1 pitch deep to right field. It cleared the bases, a 3-run, 3 RBI triple, and the Bulldogs haven't looked back since.
Yeah, that was impressive for him to go oppo there, and also with the way the wind's really kind of coming in from right field. Boy, he hit that ball hard, and that really changed the complexion of this ball game. Paulding had that 1-0 lead and quickly was erased. Defiance has not looked back. They've been able to tack on one more since that bases clearing triple a couple innings ago.
2-0 runs him. Ooh, wow. He had leaned back. He thought that was a ball. From our angle, with the press box being up the first base line, I was inclined to think so too, but Jay Moran says strike 1.
Hey, the umpire's never wrong. So, and these 2 umpires, they're correct. These are 2 of the best you're going to get. So these guys have been in multiple games throughout their careers, a lot of big games. Both these guys have done state tournament games.
Well, when you were standing outside the press box and I was introducing myself, Mark Weidenheimer said, "Didn't I run you?" So I wasn't sure if he was being serious or not, but this one misses up around the visor for ball 4, because I believe every umpire that I've ever talked to has made that comment to you at least once. So I take everything with a grain of salt nowadays.
Oh, these guys still after I'm out of coaching, they still give me the hard time. But doesn't matter how much love I give them. They just never understood me. Just try to help them out on all those close calls. That's all I was trying to do.
Well, when you came up and said you said that's Weidenhammer with just one eye, I don't think you endeared yourself to him. So off with the pitch, throw down to second, and it is not in time as Gomez in with a stolen base. And despite the 4-1 lead, Bulldogs continuing to be aggressive on the base paths.
Well, I think they have to. I love this aggressiveness. And a strong throw from Stroker-Header one more time. But again, it looked like Gomez just kind of outran the baseball, so scoring position just 1 out.
Ziffel takes. Brez 0 for 2 this afternoon. He has grounded back to the pitcher and struck out swinging. Chance to tack on a big insurance run here with his squad already up 4-1. Looking at a 2-0 count. Good lead at second. Big sweeping bender, and it breaks over the heart of the plate for strike 1.
Yeah, it is a big bend. It's almost like a slurve. That's that hybrid, that's got a lot of movement to it. It starts up high, but it goes across the whole plate.
That thing is a Frisbee. 2-1. Tries to double him up, misses on the outside. 3-1. And if you're Zippel here, I know it's 3-1, but you still zone up here, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Right now, you may not get it, but I think you look fastball, something in your nitro zone you can drive home a run with.
Well, upstairs, and he laces it into left field. Turning around over his back. I was going to say, no need to look over your shoulder there, young man. Gomez does eventually cross home plate as Brez Zippel comes up with an RBI single to make it 5-1 Bulldogs.
Well, that's what you have to do. Credit Zippel there. Another quality at bat by Defiance, but when a pitcher misses across the plate, you can't miss it. You've got to connect. A lot of guys foul that ball off, but that time he's able to lace that into left field. So an RBI single there for Zippel. And for the second time, Defiance has extended their lead. Zippel off
and not a chance for Eder on a first pitch bender. That bounced off of his shin guard, it looked like, and well up the first base line. But Zippel in with the stolen base as the Bulldogs continue to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, that's a stolen base all the way. He had such a great jump there. And, again, that ball downstairs, just no chance to make that throw, even if he fields it cleanly. Boy, he had a great jump. He's got great wheels.
Shaw looking for an RBI of his own as he steps out. Cody Shaw is a baseball specialist. He eats it, he breathes it, he sleeps it. Basically, he lives it. The 1-0. There's that frisbee again, but it misses low and away.
His brother Braden Shaw will be playing, in fact, playing today here against Toledo.
That's right,
up at
Akron.
Scott Park.
They had to make an adjustment with the anticipation of the rain tomorrow.
I think they're going to play a doubleheader Sunday and set tomorrow out.
Oh, this one laced into the left center field gap, and it is crushed. Zippel will score easily around third. Shaw standing up into second. He'll dig for 3. There'll be a throw. It will not be in time. And Shaw with an RBI triple makes it 6-1 Defiance.
Wow, that ball jumped off the bat. That had a good exit velocity there, and that thing was hunting all the way. And how about Cody Shaw? Again, that's a great baseball play. He's thinking not just 2 out of the box. He's running hard from the get-go, and when he saw that little bobble there in the gap trying to pick that baseball up, that allowed him to stretch that into a triple. So, again, that's tremendous play. A lot of guys, they get that hit. Hey, I just knocked home a run. I'm going to trot into second base. He gets the extra base, and that's huge because now there's just 1 out, and it's going to force either Paulding to bring the infield in, or if they leave it back, it's going to allow you to score a run off a ground ball.
So here's Ligon digging in with a chance for an RBI himself here with his squad up 6-1. Somewhat of a slow start offensively for Defiance this afternoon. Most of that can be credited to the strong pitching of Paulding starter Grayson Harder, but they've scored in each inning since the third and multiple runs in 2 of those 3 innings. They're looking for more here. The 1-0. Well, nice job by Eder to try and frame it up, and he pounded the turf there. He wanted that call, and I think he maybe even said something to Jay Moran as he turned around, and Moran just shook his head no at him.
This is where Defiance has made some great strides. That's a pitch I think last year they would have probably chased and probably end up just rolling one over, an easy comeback and so forth. Instead, he's able to make a good hold there, gets the count 2-0. So now he should see a much better pitch to hit now. He's in hitter's count at 2-1.
2-1. Elston trying to find a solution here as he's been touched for 2. Brings a good sinking fastball, but it's just below the knees. And the count 3-1.
And give Ligon a lot of credit there. A lot of guys will go after that. They try to do too much in this scenario. They want to hit. But, again, good hitters hit good pitches. Now he should get something really good to hit.
He does not. Ball 4. And the line keeps moving for Defiance. After a leadoff strikeout to Brady Borton, a walk by Gomez, a single and an RBI by Zippel, a triple and an RBI by Shaw, and now a walk by Ligon. And that's going to bring a meeting on the mound for Paulding.
And great job by Ligon. You know, everybody wants to hit in that scenario. You always want a chance to drive home somebody, especially from third base. But, again, he took a couple marginal pitches there just out of the zone. He's able to work that walk. Now Defiance really has something cooking here, trying to get some serious separation here in this 5th inning.
We are hoping the weather will begin to warm up next week. Our next broadcast will be Monday night. It will be softball as the Defiance Bulldogs make the short trip down Dahmersville Road to Tenora. It will be our first Tenora softball broadcast in basically our 2 seasons here.
It's been a great rivalry. These two know each other so well just down the road. They both have had a lot of success here in recent years, so should be a lot of fun on Monday night.
Right now, Defiance still looking for more as Rubio takes a first pitch sweeper, ball 1. Abel, 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. He struck out swinging in the second. Laid down a bunt in the fourth. Checks his swing. Runner down to second. It's a snap throw to third, and it bounces off of Barton, which Coach Weaver tells Shaw stay put.
Great job by Defiance. They knew the high leg kick was coming, so that time Ligon able to get a good jump, steal second base. And how about that great play by Zach Barton to keep that ball in front? If that gets away, that's going to be another Defiance run.
Rubio ahead in the count, 2-0, make it 3-0. And right now, Hayden Elston just can't find the strike zone.
And credit Defiance, they want to be up there swinging, but they're taking those marginal pitches. And now they've worked themselves up on the count again, 3-0.
Ligon doing some calisthenics off of second base, trying to keep himself warm. That wind continuing to blast in from left field. Temperatures continuing to drop right now as the 3-0 is in the cellar. Was that ball 4? The board said 3-0. My book had 3-0. Is there a phantom pitch that we missed somewhere? Okay, let's just go ahead and in an alternative plane here call this 3-0. That is ball 4.
Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie, but again, I had that is the 5th pitch, all out of the strike zone, but either way, it's going to go down as a walk there for Abel Rubio.
I think the whole press box experienced lost time. I'm not sure what happened there, but as you mentioned, using a basketball term, ball don't lie, so down to first base, Rubio loads him up for the freshman Colt Ward. Ward, boy, he's aggressive up there. First pitch swinging, he wasn't guessing. Got a letter-high fastball and chops it foul.
This young man, I think he's that professional type of hitter that's got such a solid swing. Again, understands the game. He had a quality at bat his last at bat where he got that sac fly.
Took another good rip here, but he's a little late and fouls it up onto the mezzanine. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, so right now, down 0-2, the freshman Ward needs to be 2-strike approach here again. Try to be situation here. Look for something you can lift the outfield, something you can put in play here in the ground that's going to score a run.
Well, you're expecting one of those Frisbees again for Elston. Well, he pitches with a high heater out of the zone.
Yeah, I looked for him to go maybe that backdoor curveball to the lefty right here. Elston up 1-2.
From the stretch. He tried, but it scoots past Etter and play at the plate. Sliding home safely, Cody Shaw with the 7th run of the ball game. Station to station for both Ligon and Rubio. My goodness, just when you had him where you wanted him, that one gets away.
Well, he tried that bender on the back end, but again, just too far off the plate, and Etter could not track it down. That's going to go down as a wild pitch.
So 2-2 the count. Ward way out in front of this one. Count remains 2-2.
But that's a good-looking 2-strike swing. That time did everything right, kept the head down right on it. He's seeing the baseball. Fouls that one off.
2-2. Elston really wants this one, facing the 9-hole. Brings a heater. This one popped up. Shallow left center field, and that one's giving trouble, giving chase, and a diving catch by Evans. He makes the catch, but as he gets up, it's still going to be enough for Ligon to tag up from third.
Well, how about the senior Carter Evans, Joe? He had to go a long way, made a fantastic diving catch. But once again, great situational hitting by the freshman Colt Ward. He'll get his 2nd sac fly in the afternoon. one last inning and one now this inning. Defiance has extended that lead to 8-1 with the RBI sac fly from Colt Ward.
They have scored in every inning since the third as Hutchison lays down a bunt. This is a beauty up the third base line, and having to eat the baseball, Barton doesn't have a play.
Yeah, I love it. That's, again, just high IQ baseball. Credit to Hutchinson there, dropping it down the third base line. And, Barton, nothing you can do except the only thing you got to do on that for Barton, you have to arm fake to first. You're not going to throw that ball across the infield, but arm fake to first, take a peek. Maybe you see if Rubio got a little too aggressive, takes too big a turn.
Stockman lays down a bunt, and this is a beauty up the third base line. Having to eat it again is Barton, but this one will be an RBI bunt single by Stockman as Rubio comes home to score to make it 9-1, and now all of a sudden Defiance is potentially looking at a run rule.
Well, I tell you what, tremendous back-to-back bunts. You can't really drop them in a better spot than that, and you're right. Now just the base hit away from potentially getting the walk-off 10-run rule here in the fifth inning.
Brady Barton will dig in from the right side. He struck out swinging to start the inning. The Bulldogs have hit around as he sends a shot up the middle. Great snare by Bauman, and he goes over to first to finally get that elusive third out, but not before. Defiance comes up big. 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. A couple left the board. We will head to the top of the 6th. Bulldogs in command, 9-1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Nine runs, 9 hits, no errors for Defiance. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors for Paulding. So we welcome you back to Defiance. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller, top of the 6th. And on the bump, talk about insurance and then some. But let's just talk about the job that Kason Lennebrink has done coming on in relief. He came into a high-leverage situation with 2 outs with the bases loaded 3 innings ago. He got the out, and he's been untouchable for the next 2 innings. And right now, looking to square off against 4, 5, and 6, Bauman and Barton. As you saw the weather right there, temperatures now dipping below 50 degrees with the wind. It is chilly would be a kind way to put it. As first pitch swing to Hopper deep in the hole at short, but when you got an arm like Brez Ziffel does, you can play a little deeper, and he gets him by at least a couple steps.
Well, he's as good as high school shortstop I think you're going to see anywhere. Defensively, he's got such good range, takes good angles. He's got that quick release there, good soft hands, that strong arm. That makes it good math, and that time Lennebrink's able to get 1 pitch, 1 out.
That's what you call efficiency. C. Nick Bauman digs in. It's still chilly up in this press box, man. Woo! Cannot wait for spring to finally truly arrive.
Well, Brent, going back to Lennebrink, he certainly has his name in the hat for player of the game. I mean, coming into that scenario, you're already down 1-0, especially against a guy like Grayson Harder that really is a guy that's going to play at the next level, a strong pitcher, but he got him out of that huge jam.
To Chopper, shortstop. This time, Zip has the charge, and Brez just smiles over at Khalil Ligon. 2 chances, 2 putouts by the Bulldogs shortstop.
Yeah, and I've sat through a lot of those slow rollers to the left side. As a coach, you're holding your breath because that's not an easy play, but Brez makes it look so easy. But, again, he gets that great jump. He's able to get that quick release, that strong arm. Boy, that's back-to-back plays. And right now, you talk about efficiency, we're seeing it from Lennebrink.
2 up, 2 down brings up Zachary Barton, who takes a healthy cut at a first pitch offering and chops it foul. Barton 0 for 2, struck out looking to lead off the second, grounded out to short to end the third. The 0-1, this one a shot down to third, snared off his shoe tops by Hutchison. Everybody flashing some fancy leather on the left side of the Defiance infield, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs in command, up 9-1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back at Defiance as we head to the bottom of the 6th, and we've got another pitching change as it's going to be Kane Jones now taking the bump for what potentially will be the last defensive inning for the Panthers as they trail 9-1. So
for the senior Kane Jones, last year he had a 2.33 ERA. He struck out 47 batters. The only trouble spot he had was 27 walks, but it's still 2-1 strikeout walk ratio, not bad. But again, he's a guy that certainly perhaps the best athlete on this Paulding team. And again, throwing from the left side doesn't hurt. As the 6'2 senior now takes the bump.
Well, with Jones coming in from center field, Colton Hunt will now move to center, which means we have a new right fielder. And I'm trying to get a number. My binoculars trying to get through the gray fog of our press box window. It looks like number 33, which would be Carter Evans, now in right. So that means we have a new left fielder. So let me pick up my binoculars again, because we strive for accuracy here at DCTV. Turn around, young man. All right, in left is number 90, Nick Bauman, which means we now have a new shortstop. Scoop, feel free to help me out, man. This is like
what you're doing.
This is like a roulette wheel here. So now it's short. Let's see. Let's see here, young man. Gray on gray. Number 40. So this would be Grayson Harder now at shortstop. All right, I think we got that down. That was a new political ticket. My goodness.
That's the thing you get into high school baseball. When you change the pitching, staff, you change your entire team sometimes. You have that trickle-down effect.
Whew. So, and we're also going to have a pinch hitter here because it was supposed to be 4, 5, and 6, Noah Gomez. Instead, thank you very much, Jaron Hansberger, the junior, fouls an 0-1 pitch away.
A pretty good-looking swing that time by Hansberger that just missed turn around that Kane Jones fastball.
Swings over the top of that. It will be a drop third strike. Having to go down to first. Whoa. Kind of nonchalanted by Eder down to first, and that was actually a nifty pick by Barton. One away.
That was a very nice play there by Barton. And how about Jones? He's a guy that's got a great arm out there. And, again, the southpaw is able to get a quick strikeout here to start things out in the 6th inning for Defiance.
Another pinch hitter digging in is Braden Weaver. I'm looking at number 22 here. They've got green on this. There we go. Braden Weaver, a 5'11 junior. One the count. Looking to see who's on deck here, but my guess is we're going to have another pinch hitter as well. I can't quite tell. I think I'm seeing number 35, but if so, that's Ben Meter. I love this facility, Scoop. I'm not kidding when I say, maybe with the exception of Miami, every baseball program in the Mid-American Conference wishes they had Defiance's facility. It is that good.
Oh, no question. Not just their facility here, but also obviously their indoor facility as well.
Same with softball, as this one will mean a pass down to first base. But the one question I would love to ask Coach Held, why they built the press box down the first base line instead of behind home plate. Any idea?
He's always been a down-the-line press box guy. I mean, when he was at Bryan, they had it on the third base side. He comes to Defiance, he puts it on the first base side.
Man.
Don't try to figure that guy out.
I met him for the first time a few weeks ago. There was baseball royalty at a table at an establishment that, since they're not a sponsor, shall not be mentioned. But between you, Chris Hardman, and Coach Held, I almost wanted to pull out my camera and just have the wait staff take a picture. I figured I could have maybe had you all autograph it and maybe made some supplemental income on eBay.
There were a lot of baseball junkies in that room that day.
1-0 the count. This one fouled straight back. And this is George Hartnett, who's up to bat. Excuse me. 1-1, took a healthy cut, comes up empty.
Yeah, good-looking swing by Hartnett, but a little bit tardy on that nice fastball by Kane Jones. Boy, Jones, one of those tough guys to pick up after kind of seeing a slower righty. Now the lefty comes in with plenty of velo.
This one, a ground ball to second, could be two. The flip to short. Harder's relay is not in time. Again, Griffith stayed back on it, and give him credit, he took the sure out, but almost assuredly sealed the deal that they were going to have to be satisfied with the force at second.
Yeah, Hartnett runs too well to kind of take your time on that. So, but they do get the out there. Hartnett reaches on the fielder's choice.
So 2 down, and looks like Ligon will stay in. He will hit. Khalil dances out of the way on a pitch in the dirt, and Hartnett will stroll into second base on the wild pitch. Ligon is 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, 2 runs scored this afternoon. This one misses around the ankles.
See, that's a great hold. You know, you swing at that pitch, you're going to really get yourself out. Instead, he takes that pitch just a little bit below the knees. Now it should get something a little bit healthier to hit here, 2-0.
2-0, brushes him back, and still paints the black on the inside corner, and Ligon just kind of cocks his head sideways.
Well, that's a good hold. That's a tremendous 2-0 pitch there by Kane Jones. I mean, to have a fastball with glove side run that catches the black on the inside corner, tremendous pitch.
2-1. Boy, challenged him. Ligon was on it, just over the top of it, shaking his head at himself as Jones really reached back and brought a little something extra.
Yeah, Jones challenged him that time, and the hitter's count went right with the fastball, but Jones was able to win that pitch.
Jones deals the 2-2. This one, a high fly ball into right field. Playable for Evans. It comes right to him as he hauls it in for the third and final out. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left the board. We have played through 5.5. We will head to the bottom of the frame when we come back. Actually, we played through 6, excuse me. We're heading to the top of the 7th. It is our first game as well, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have it for you on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Well, we head to the top of the 7th. 9 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Defiance. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors for Paulding. They're down to their final 3 outs. Panthers need at least 8, or this one is in the books. And I think the story here this afternoon, and there are plenty of them, but how about Kaysen Linnebrink coming on with 2 outs, but the bases loaded. What was it now, 4 innings ago? It was in the 3rd. And getting a huge out and then just cruising since. He's been nearly untouchable.
He really has. You know, he's not allowed a hit here in 3 2/3 innings, so he's been lights out of the bullpen, and he's in line for the win here. If he can get the final 3 outs here against the Panthers, he'll be going against the 7, 8, 9 hitters in Stroker Eder, Jackson Griffith, and Hayden Elston, unless we see some pinch hitting.
Well, there's no such thing as an 8-run at bat. You just have to keep the line moving if you're Paulding, but they have been shut down ever since Kaysen Linnebrink has checked into this ball game.
And not just shut down since Linnebrink's come in. He's retired all 10 batters he's faced, so he really has been lights out, has not allowed a walk, just a couple hits.
Attitude chopper charging in, and just another routine play for the senior shortstop as Brez Ziffel makes it 3-4 straight 3. Got 2 in the last inning, and now starts off the 7th with a putout.
And Crit Linnebrink, you know, he's attacking the zone. He's getting guys to hit first pitch outs. And, again, using his defense, now just 2 outs away from the win.
Nothing wrong with pitching to contact, especially on a day like today. I think the defense appreciates being involved instead of just standing still like statues and freezing. Boy, look how shallow Abel Rubio is in left field. I don't know if we can get a wide shot of that. The entire outfield is really playing shallow. Borton in center, Rubio in particular in left. And they are not deep by any stretch of the imagination. Got Mother Nature to thank for that today. Is the 1-1. Check swing, make it ball 2.
You look at the pitch count coming in, you know, for Paulding, they threw 20 pitches first inning, 11 the second, 26 the third, 16 the fourth. Defiance threw 23rd the first, 13 the second, 30 the third. But since Linnebrink's come in, we've seen an 11-pitch inning, a 10-pitch inning, a 7-pitch inning. He came into the 3rd and had a 1-pitch, 1-out scenario with the bases loaded. So he's been so efficient. And, again, just what the doctor ordered if you're that Defiance defense.
2-2. This one a little humpback liner that will get down into very shallow left field. I don't care how shallow you're playing if you're Abel Rubio. You'd have to have 1 foot on the infield dirt to have been able to catch that one.
Yeah, just ball placed at the right spot there. Again, not a line drive single, but a good piece of hitting, and that keeps the line moving. And with 1 out, brings up the 9-hitter Hayden Elston, the DH.
Elston walked and scored the only run of the game for Paulding back in the 3rd. He's also grounded out to short. Takes just above the letters.
DH Hayden Elston.
One thing that I've noticed, though, in particular about Linnebrink, though, is his tempo. He keeps a really solid pace, gets the ball back to him, doesn't waste a lot of time, and just comes right at you.
Yeah, and again, he's continually getting on top of hitters. You know, he's done a nice job of really just pounding the zone. Again, getting guys hit his pitch. You know, that's the key. He's not going to be that high strikeout guy, but again, you don't have to be when you're locating like he's done here this afternoon. There's another good 1-1 pitch to get on top 1-2.
That ball golfed straight back by Ellsworth. Looked like he was using more of a 9-iron. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Linnebrink checks the runner out of the corner of his eye from the stretch. Comes home. Floats one upstairs.
A good idea. He went with the 12-6. Misses upstairs, but again, a quality pitch. But now you avoid the 3-ball count. You go right after Elston right here.
Deuce is wild, 2-2. Lindenbrink deals. This one popped up shallow left field. That's why Rubio has moved in, and he's still coming in battling that wind and makes the catch.
Yeah, great job. And again, that's good baseball IQ. They understand the ball's not going to carry here tonight, especially with the cold and the wind. So, again, they're really squeezing the outfield, but there's a reason for that. And now the Bulldogs just 1 out away from starting out the 2025 season at 2-0.
Top of the order in Colton Hunt. Hunt. First pitch swinging, and again, kind of a defensive swing. He's walked twice. He's also popped out to short. This one popped up left side. Will get out of play. Heads up, boy, and I don't know who it was. It was a fan down there. It might have been, looked like an elderly fan, just kind of covered her head. That didn't miss her by much. So down to their final strike, 0-2. Lindenbrink trying to finish off what really has been nothing short of a masterpiece in relief as this one misses upstairs. One and two. He hasn't stepped off the rubber. He'll deal. Very late swing. This one fouled over onto the softball diamond, and we'll do it again.
Great job by Lindenbrink. You understand, hey, we're up by 7. They're not, or up by 8. They're going nowhere. He's just locked into home plate, not worried about the runners. One of the big reasons he's never been in a 3-ball count here this afternoon. In fact, I think he's only been in 1 2-ball count here this afternoon, so he's been awfully efficient.
1-2 on the way again. He tried to hump that one up for the first time tonight, and he missed way out of the strike.
Yeah, that was his hardest fastball tonight, but well upstairs. Great job by Shaw to get out of his crouch there and to track that one down. And now we've got 2s wild here in the 7th inning. Bulldogs looking for that final strike.
2-2 on the way. He got it. Strike 3 looking, and that is about as prophetic a way as you could end off the ball game. He's all business. I'm not even sure he knows what he just did, but smile, young man. You earned it. What a tremendous relief performance by Kason Lindenbrink. He picks up the win, as do the Bulldogs, 9-1.
Wow, he was lights out. He comes in, retires 13 of the 14 hitters he faced, and again, so efficient. Used that stellar defense behind, and Defiance, after trailing early 1-0, reel off 9 unanswered runs to pull out the W here in Defiance to move to 2-0 on the season.
So 9 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Defiance. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for Paulding, as the Bulldogs make it 2 in a row, winning their home opener. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, it will be the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. We'll be joined by Coach Weaver and a player of his choosing when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at Defiance, final score, 9 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the Paulding Panthers, as they've made it 2 in a row, defending their home field with their home opener. They'll see if they can, number one, get tomorrow's game in against Napoleon. But if they can do so, looking to go 3-0 with the loss. Paulding falls to 1-2. And Scoop, for the first time all season, they actually get a home game tomorrow, weather permitting, as they are scheduled to host Ottawa Glandorf. As we await head coach Rick Weaver and a player of his choosing to come up and join us for the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Brent Balbinot, Scoop Miller, let's break down our box here, and in particular our books. Look, I can go offensive, and it will look like more of an offensive game when you look up and see 9 runs, but let's not forget, this was a 1-0 ball game. The Panthers had the lead going into the bottom of the third. What a performance in relief by Kaysen Linnebrink. The senior threw 4 1/3 of shutout baseball. He was nothing short of spectacular.
Well, he was just lights out. Again, he certainly was a difference maker in a game that you're going to say was dominated by Defiance offense, scoring 9 runs. Really, he was the guy that really kind of stepped up there. Things were not going Defiance way early. He comes in, and again, 1 pitch, 1 out to get out of a bases-loaded jam. You're already trailing a run, and then he was lights out. He only saw 14 batters during that 4 1/3 innings, and he did not allow a walk, just that one, bloop single down the left field line. But again, he was spectacular and very impressive, and really a good team win for Defiance as well.
He faced 1 over the minimum since he came in the bottom of the third, and they just couldn't touch him. And I think it's a great point, too. He's not overpowering. He's not a strikeout pitcher. But what he does do, 2 things. He stays around the zone. He can work both halves of the plate very, very well. And he's not afraid to pitch to contact. And when you've got an all-senior defensive lineup behind you, more power to him.
Yeah, you need guys like that. And again, he played his role to a T, because especially you throw in the weather conditions today. The last thing, if you're Rick Weaver, you want is to watch 20 and 30 pitched innings that Defiance had there in the early going. You don't want your defense standing around out there where now you're setting yourself up for that first ground ball. You make a mistake, you boot around. He kept his defense on his toes. He used that defense. But credit him, he really pitched to contact. Paulding did not get a lot of quality swings off of Linnebrink, and boy, he really earned that win out of the bullpen here this afternoon.
With that said, we're just getting started. I mean, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. The WBL going to be another tough season, no off games, and I'll be very interested to see how the GMC is going to be this year. I know Tenora is going to be loaded for bear. I've also heard that Fairview's got a good team, but anytime that you can throw harder out there, you've got a chance to win if you're Paulding.
Well, no doubt about it. Last year they finished 3rd place behind Tenor, and also back-to-back league champs Wayne Trace. So you know Wayne Trace is going to have their name in the hat. Of course, Tenor is always going to be in there. And you're right. I think Fairview is really looking to have an outstanding year as well. So this should be a really balanced and outstanding GMC season coming up here for Paulding in the Green Meadows Conference.
Taking a look at the offensive totals again for Paulding, just 2 hits. Jackson Griffith picked up that bloop single in the bottom of the 7th. It really was just for show as they were down 9-1. The other hit came on the somewhat controversial bunt where it looked like Grayson Harder was actually hit by the ball as he came out of the box. And again, that's just a tough call for a 2-man crew because you got the home plate umpire who is potentially being shielded out by not just the runner but the catcher as well, and then the field umpire is trying to move over and get an angle, but you've got deep benders also moving. So again, it just is what it is, but it didn't end up having any great effect on the ball.
Well, that's what you got, seniors. That's what you need to happen because, again, those things happen in baseball. It's a part of the game, so you have to overcome adversity, and Defiance really did that. They didn't let one play kind of affect the next. And, again, they just did it in so many ways. I had every player 1 through 9 for Defiance having at least 2 quality at-bats. Yep. You know, the top of the order was lights out. You know, how about Logan Hudson? I think he had 3 hits. I think Stockman had a couple hits. All those guys did such a great job. But I thought they got great production at the end as well. You know, Colt Ward came up in the 9th spot.
Yes.
Had a couple big sack flies. And I thought they had quality at-bat after quality at-bat and were able to grind out an impressive win here against Paulding.
Coach Weaver ditching his – I was going to say, he says soaked. We call it all-weather gear. It sounds just a little bit more high-tech. Sounds like they have a bigger budget in the athletic department when we call it storm fit or all-fit gear. Coach, come on over, grab yourself a headset. We'll get you on here. It's the, again, it's like been Contact and Lens Center postgame continues here. Coach throwing on the headset. Wow. Okay. I think you know where we're probably going to start, but at the same time, your overall take on, you know, you got punched in the mouth. Paulding breaks the scoreboard first. Your club responded. Your thoughts?
100%. That's why I just told the guys. I said the biggest thing, at least coaches, especially early on, you want to see how your team responds. Mm-hmm. Get down 1-0, and their guy was throwing really well. And then, you know, we come up. Logan Hudson has a 2-strike base hit. Cohen has a 2-strike base hit, which we have been preaching all winter, all off season. Brady gets plunked, and then Noah hits the big triple. So yeah, it was great to see him respond going down 1-0.
You know, break down Noah's at bat there. He goes 1 for 2, but he clears the bases, and he goes oppo in doing it.
He did, and if I can remember correctly, he swung at a terrible first pitch, a curveball in the dirt. Which is him. He's a free swinger, and you live and die with him, but then he usually comes through like that, and he sat on a fastball. And, you know, his first at-bat, he got off the end of the bat, and that's what he said. He said, it was on the outer third. It was a fastball. I tried to pull it. He's like, I just got to stay on it. And he learned from his first at-bat and drove it. And I'll be honest, I didn't think with the wind he could burn the right fielder, and it just took off and kept going.
Yep.
I didn't think I'd see that type of hit all day into the right field, especially from the opposite side. But, again, came up big in a big time. But talk about some of those quality at-bats. I thought throughout the lineup you had some great at-bats. You guys stayed away from those marginal pitches. I thought you were situational at times, and then you mixed in a little small ball. Just a tremendous offensive performance by your guys tonight.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought we grinded out at-bats, and that's another thing we've talked about. You know, being aggressive, but being smart aggressive, being able to compete with 2 strikes, not chasing their pitches, and you know, a guy like Grayson there, who is a strikeout pitcher, you can't get to 2 strikes. He's got the wipeout breaker. Yep. So I thought we were good in that. We took good pitches, and we really drove his pitch count up.
Let's talk about the bump. Sam started a little bit rough, couple of walks, but then buckled down. It looked like he'd found his rhythm. 5 straight strikeouts. Again, if he can slow himself down, it looks like the sky's going to be the limit for him.
Sammy has good stuff, and I think, you know, it was his first varsity start. He's was probably nervous as heck. When he got out of the first and then he got the second, the walks did him in. I like his stuff, but then, you know, you can't say enough about Case and Lindenbrink. And, you know, he comes in and bases loaded. As I said, you know, they get a flare, a hit. It's 2, 3, 4, nothing. Totally different complexion. And he gets out of that, and then he just settled in. Yep. I mean, he just throws strikes and keeps them off balance.
Yeah, Casey really did, and he used that defense. I thought your defense did a great job. They didn't hit a lot of balls hard, but they had some soft balls that were tough plays. But I thought your middle infield really was good.
Yeah, I like our middle infield. I like Brez. Brez is as good at shortstop as
you heard it, Brez. We've got it recorded for posterity on film here.
He
likes Brez.
Like
okay.
Brez. But with him and Noah up the middle, they're pretty good. And then you put Logan at third. It's a pretty good infield.
Well, and another thing that Scoop and I had talked about, too, with Kaysen in particular, he pitched with tempo tonight on a very windy, cold, damp night. I thought the strike zone might be a little bit looser, but it wasn't. It was fairly honest. But he got the ball, he settled in, and he pitched with tempo. And I can tell you, as a corner outfielder on nights like tonight, you like movement in the ball game.
Yes, and that's funny because when he threw in Florida, he was slow, and we were like, pick it up, and then Coach Hudson was like, hey, I talked to your dad. He said you need to pick it up. And he's like, my dad's been saying that since I was 11, says I'm too slow. So, yeah, he picked up the pace, threw strikes, and each out you could see the confidence just growing in him.
I see number 5 trying to hide in plain sight back there. Can you just talk a little bit about what Mr. Shaw has done? How much has this young man grown?
Oh, my gosh, where he's come. I mean, obviously from day one when he came as a freshman, we knew how talented he was. But what he's become is a leader. He's our hardest worker. You can hear him back there catching. I mean, that's what you need. You obviously know your catcher's got to be your leader. He's the positive guy. He's the one that gets everyone up. They all rally around him. And, I mean, he's been swinging as good a bat from the first scrimmage till today. I mean, just super, super excited for him, super happy because a kid that works as hard as him deserves success.
I had a long talk with several coaches in the MAC about him. I know his brother has a reputation as well. But how good of a player is the University of Findlay going to be getting?
They're getting a steal. I tell everyone, I'm like, they are getting a steal because they're getting a catcher, they're getting a hitter, and they're getting an unbelievable pitcher. So, the future is bright for him. I tell him every day.
Now, with that said, we're not going to graduate him or anybody else too
keep
early.
Him for a while.
You got Napoleon tomorrow. What do you want to see from your team, weather permitting?
Yeah, I just compete. It's going to be a great game. Obviously, it's a rivalry game. We know Coach Sprague is a graduate of over here. I coached him my first year. We're good friends. He's done a great job over there, so it'll be a great contest.
Coach, congratulations, 2-0, and best of luck to you tomorrow.
Appreciate it, guys.
We're going to take a quick time out. The postgame continues right after this. We'll talk to number 5 when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Defiance, the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show is underway. Who else could we possibly have? This is his first, not just pregame or postgame, but his first interview period on DCTV Sports. Mr. Shaw, congratulations to you. How's it feel?
A win always feels good.
A win, it doesn't matter how you get it, right?
That's right.
Walk us through this, though, because we asked Coach Weaver the same thing I'm going to ask you. Paulding came out here and was very strong for the first, 2.5 innings, punched you in the mouth, took an early lead. What was the mindset? What was the attitude down in the dugout?
Yeah, Grayson's a very good pitcher. He's got some good stuff, and it's important to always stay positive and just compete our butts off. Just again, keeping the dugout positive and giving each other confidence and allowing them, again, hitting is contagious. So it takes one hit and then it just takes off from there, as we saw from Logan Hutchison with that big two-strike hit, and it just piled on from there.
Talk about the offensive mindset. You know you're going to see a good pitcher in a guy like Grayson. What are you trying to do as far as offense? I mean, I know you want to have a plan when you come to plate, but you also know you're probably not going to put up a lot of big runs. So what was the game plan coming in against a guy like Carter?
Yeah, we got to manufacture a run any way possible. I mean, it starts with getting a guy on first, either any way possible, whether it's a walk, a base hit, and then we just play Defiance baseball, get a bunt, get him over, and then we just got to get that run in any way possible, and then, again, it just grows from there.
I was talking with Coach Weaver when you guys were down in the cages warming up tonight, and I said, what are you seeing? What do you want to see more of? And first thing out of his mouth was, we need more quality at bats this year. He felt you gave away too many as a team last year. Is that a change in approach? Is that a change in mindset? Walk us through what that means for you in particular.
Yeah, I think it's just buying into what Coach Weaver preaches each and every day, is the two-strike approach. A lot of us, it's pretty fun just to want to hit bombs, obviously, but just to get that two-strike approach and really be productive when it comes to that kind of stuff.
You showed off a little wheels here this afternoon, too, with that triple deep to left center field. Scoopy did it while he was rounding second, and he adjusted his batting helmet, too. I mean, he had to style going into third base. Break down that at-bat, break down that pitch for us.
Yeah, I was sitting on that fastball, and I got it. I was trying to just sit back on that pitch because it's important on the slower pitching to get antsy and want to go, and just let your bat speed take over and really try to hit it hard. But you just got to trust your mechanics and your bat and let the barrel do the work and just get the barrel.
And Cody, going back to that bat where you had that nice triple there to the gap, along with it, something we mentioned, you were running hard out of the box there. That's a ball where typically it's going to be a stand-up double. You go in, you score a run and so forth. You do your thing at second base. But you were running hard out of the box, but I also saw that multiple times from Defiance players tonight. I mean, the stolen bases are obvious to see, but those are the types of things I think really stand out, especially when you get to a 3-2 ball game. How important is that for you guys, especially being a really heavy senior team, to understand the importance of doing the little things?
Yeah, little things always matter. I mean, just little things wins championships because that's what gets you all those runs. By getting out of that box quick, it gets you base runners, and it could even get you extra bases. And by the end of the game, those pile up.
All right, senior-dominated, not just senior-laden, senior-dominated team this year. I know you didn't go as deep into the postseason as you wanted to last year. Have you guys talked about what your overall goals are, and specifically once the regular season is over, or are you just taking it one game at a time?
We've talked about it. I mean, I think every team wants to win state. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But our motto is every game, or the first game, like ahead of you, you always got to focus on that. It's one game at a time, and you just got to focus on whoever you're playing, because our motto is just the game you're playing, you got to focus on that, and that team is the best team on your schedule each and every day.
Yeah, that sounds like my high school coach. The most important game is always your
on the schedule.
One, and that's what you guys are taking. Yep. But again, I think that shows the leadership of your guys. How important is that going to be as you guys progress throughout the season and have that type of mindset?
Yeah, I think that's very important to have that mindset of just one game at a time, because we have a couple younger players that are studs, and once we're gone after this season, it's important that they know the mindset and stuff, and that it takes one game at a time so they can carry on the tradition.
One game at a time right now has led to 2-0 to open up the season. Cody Shaw, congratulations on you. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Congrats, Cody.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick time out. Back with the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game wrap-up right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at Defiance, that picture doesn't do justice as to how dark, how windy, how cold, and just plain how miserable this afternoon was. We had some light rain. The temperature fell below 50. The wind chill took it even lower, but it didn't seem to matter as Defiance's bats heated up from the third inning on. They scored in each of their, I'd say 3 of their last 4 innings, and they win comfortably 9-1 over Paulding. Up next, competition gets a little bit tougher as they will focus on Napoleon. The Wildcats will be making the ride, very short ride, over 24, over to Defiance tomorrow afternoon, weather permitting. That will be a noon first pitch, but my goodness, if the weather holds off, Scoop, that's going to be a tremendous ball game.
Well, it is. You know, you've got 2 good teams, both teams with very high expectations. Of course, Napoleon made all the way to the regional final before losing to Purdue, a Franciscan 4-2. But Defiance, after beating a point in the regular season, was ousted in that district championship at Archbold. So these two are going to be ready to battle. These 2 programs know each other so well, so much respect for each other. They're both going to win a lot of games this season. So that's going to be a fun game, weather permitting.
Well, and you think about that because we were there. We didn't broadcast that game, but Napoleon making that incredible deep run, they were 1 at bat away from losing to Bryan in the previous game of districts. The Sun played havoc with Bryan's center fielder. He misjudged the ball, or Bryan might have advanced. It just goes to show you not just every game, but literally every at bat can make the difference.
Well, that's baseball, and Cody Shaw just talked about it. You need to do those little things all the time because all in all, by the time the game rolls around, that's what kind of makes the difference. I think tomorrow will be no different. Sometimes it takes a little bit more than that, but if you don't take plays off, you do things the right way, good things tend to happen.
Now, this one is in the books. Our next broadcast will be on Monday afternoon. 5 o'clock will be the first pitch. It will be softball as Defiance makes the short bus ride down Domersville Road to take on Tenora. We'll be on the air with our pregame, our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame at 4:30, and then first pitch at 5 o'clock. We will hope that you join us. Scoop, have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds good.
That's going to do it for our broadcast here this afternoon. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot, and there you see our entire crew doing more than yeoman's work, especially on a miserable weather afternoon here. They earned their pay today. Folks, if you enjoy our broadcasts, please walk through our sponsor's door, patronize those businesses, spend a little money, and at the same time on the way out, tell them how much you appreciate their sponsorship of what we do here. That's going to do it for our broadcast. We will talk to you on Monday at Tenora. For Brent Balbinot and our entire crew, we thank you, the fan, for tuning in. Final score again, Defiance 9, Paulding 1. You've been watching